name's Owen, and I'm the Dungeon Master of our Return of the Giants 5th edition homebrew campaign.
Hi, I'm Ali. I'm playing Lyra, the Eladrin Spore Druid, and she is just a little bit obsessed with mushrooms.
Hi, my name's Simon. I'm playing the character of Ember. I'm a wildfire druid who's on a quest to be the very best there ever was.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I play Harry Harrington, the Harrengon, the roguish merchant with the heart of gold.
My name is Christian. I'm playing Bartholomew, the romantic dancing Owlin, Paladin of devotion.
Hi, my name is Matt, and I'll be playing Niles Silverwind, the Owlin, Way of the Sympathy Monk.
Hey guys, I'm Jared. I play the character of Threign, the boisterous frost giant, the Goliath, path of the giant Barbarian.
Hello there, lovely listener. This is just a warning to let you know that this episode of Return of the Giants may contain adult language or adult themes. Hello!
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody. And Simon and Dave had their hands synchronized perfectly, so when they were waving, it looked like they were high-fiving across the screen. That was outstanding. Welcome, everybody, back to the Lost Archives for our Return of the Giants 5th edition campaign. We are very excited to be jumping back in once more. It's going to be an awesome session. We had the players level up to level 6 last session, so we're going to jump in and see what they got. We'll do a quick check-in and see what new features each of them have unlocked with their level 6 level up. Before we do that, though, we did end on a little bit of a, not a cliffhanger, but a little bit of a moment that we want to have Harry experience. So we'll do that before we do anything else. In terms of fun news to share, the only fun news I have to share is that our Legacy of Kyoshi Avatar Legends campaign is in full swing. We are having an absolute blast. It's going to be lots of fun. We've got our final character joining us, our final main cast member joining us for the moment. Dragon, who has been on a number of Lost Archive streams, but never on a TTRPG one. I've only ever been able to get her to play things like Phasmophobia or what other ones have we done? Sea of Thieves, Raft. She's mostly been around for like some of the big multiplayer games that I do with the streaming group, the Royal Lounge. But she's been watching all of the Avatar Legends series. She's been really enjoying it, and I finally managed to convince her to actually come and join us as a /main/guest character for a bit. So I finished her character art today, just in time for tomorrow night. She just needs to pick a name for her character, and then I will reveal it along with the character art, and we will have it all ready to go for tomorrow. So very exciting. That's probably the only fun news I have to share. Anyone else got any fun news to share from the week or for the week to come? No.
I really wanted to make a Dragon D's joke, but I thought I don't know the person, so I'm going to hold off on that.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
I'll just say that Monday night, I really enjoyed that session.
It was a good session.
It was amazing. I loved it.
Very cool.
Very spicy.
We had a particularly spicy Curse of Strahd session on Monday. I'm not going to say any spoilers, but one of the NPCs in that, for those of you who are familiar with Curse of Strahd, one of the NPCs is a rather creepy figure, the Abbot of St. Markovia, who players begin to find out is actually a corrupted Deva, a corrupted angelic figure. And Jared picked up a cleric level for his character at their last level up, which gave him the spell Ceremony. And Ceremony is one of those spells that not many people take and not many people use.
Yeah,
but in certain situations, Ceremony can be very powerful. For example, restoring a creature's original alignment, which in this case may have been quite a significant moment for the realm of Barovia. So that was very nicely done.
Wow.
You can also marry characters with Ceremony, just as an FYI.
Every player always trying to do it, like get that +2 to the AC.
Yeah.
Have you really had people actually do that? I've never seen anyone use Ceremony in a campaign ever.
Really?
I suddenly have strong emotions for this character. I feel compelled.
Yeah.
And then if we kill them and use Revivify, are they technically widowed and we can remap the amount of bull
You've got
crap?
some metagamers. Holy shit. That's amazing.
Wow.
I've never seen Ceremony used in an actual game before. I once I had it as a character for a one-shot that I played back when I first started D&D, and I thought about using it for Consecrate, but then we didn't have enough time, and so I never used it. I literally had the spell ready to go. We had some like unholy ground. I was like, oh, I'll use ceremony and consecrate this ground, and then I couldn't. We didn't have time, so I've never used it. So it's the first time I've ever seen like ceremony actually used in a campaign. But that's
honestly, I
makes
only
sense,
picked it up because there was like a one point in the campaign where you said I accidentally used it. Like,
yeah,
remember, like,
so you
very,
kind
very,
of
very early on, I
yeah.
kind of used it.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, it was more of a throw-in, just to see, just because I was only going for buffing spells because I used my guns. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'll just throw it in, and it actually was clutch.
What is your main class, Jared?
Fighter.
Fighter, gunslinger.
Oh, okay.
I'm the battle master, and I just use pistols.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So I did the cleric level because I've literally just been playing as a cleric.
Yeah, because you and a priest back in the village of Barovia, I
probably.
think you two had together kind of... Oh, no, it wasn't the priest. It was the NPC that was summoned by the team, the Vidalcan, Arturius, I think his name was. Together, the two of you, because he was a cleric, the two of you kind of helped each other cast the spell ceremony way back. So that's... And it was really funny because like I think as you were reading the spell, you realised what you could use it for. And I was sitting there being like, wow, this is a master play from Jared. He's like, come in prepared for the session. No. He was reading the spell live and realised.
Right. Yep.
And
I was like, holy shit. I was like, it just clicked. I'm like, oh, wow, okay.
But it's a tough thing. You have to roll an insight check and you have to get above 20. It's a DC 20 to shift the alignment. Luckily, we have a wizard. Divination wizard who had a portent spell. Had a portent roll that got you guys over the line. Plus the bless was enough. Yeah, it was really nice.
We didn't have to like really like rely on luck.
No,
thank God.
There were actually, you guys, you ended up it really was only the blessed dice, and that was it, really. Like,
I mean, that is the beauty of a portent roll with a divination wizard, that you can get around that.
Yeah,
you take luck out of the factor. It's as written.
Yeah, so I have seen this. So that was really cool. That was a very, very fun. A very, very fun session of Curse of Strahd. So I'm excited to see the consequences of that. I spent a bit of time today.
I'm going to have to listen to it now. You've convinced me. I'm going to check it out on Spotify.
And you can catch it up on catch up on Spotify and YouTube and Google Play Podcasts whenever you feel like it.
Yeah.
That was a very good session of Curse of Strahd.
Amazing.
It was a lot of fun.
Incredible.
So good plug for Curse of Strahd right there. All right, well, let's do our recap to get ourselves back into the session, because obviously we didn't have a session last week, so we'll be jumping back in. I'll make sure you guys are all fully refreshed. Simon wasn't with us last week, so I actually played as Ember last week as well. So Simon, it's been 2 weeks for you. I'll get you back in with a really good recap. But yeah, we're a little bit of a semi cliffhanger that we ended on last session with Harry. Alrighty. The Tempest Adventuring Guild, a name now legendary across the lands of Nostea, has formed a brand new team. Lyra, Niles, Harry, Ember, Threign, and newcomer Bartholomew are exploring the vast caverns of the Underdark. Drawn below by rumours of stone giants taking over territory, it has come to light that the Duragar are providing the stone giants with slaves as part of a massive mining operation. With the Underdark so full of danger, the team sought refuge amongst a myconid colony in the depths of a large mushroom forest, and while there, made friends with a renegade Lothsworn drow called Zaelin. With the Shadowblade assassins attempting to end her life, the team made a deal to help her escape to the surface. While the rest of the party used illusion magic to lead the pursuers away, Harry attempted to escort Zaelin to safety. However, both parties were ambushed by the assassins, and while the larger group were able to fend off the attacks, even killing 2 of their pursuers, Harry was taken prisoner after being knocked out by drow poison. Luckily for Harry, the rest of the team discovered his plight while attempting to use a sending stone to throw off the drow assassins, successfully convincing them to meet with Harry on the way to the old wizard tower the Society of Brilliance uses as a base in the Underdark. On the way to the meetup point, the team made a brief detour via Blindenstone, the last city stronghold of the Svirniblin, the deep gnomes of the Underdark, and learned that a massive draconic monstrosity called a Behir had taken up residence, the city now abandoned. Meanwhile, Harry found himself bound and gagged, tied to a post, and left out in the open as bait for the rest of the party. With the sounds of slithering coming from either side of the canyon walls, Harry decided to try and appeal to his patron for help. A call which was answered with a sudden, powerful eldritch blast from his hands, destroying the ropes binding him. Luckily for Harry, the rest of the team had just arrived. Threign and Bart rushing down into the canyon to try and get to him, while Ember, Lyra, and Niles took to the higher ground. Emerging from the walls of the canyons, large worm-like insects rushed toward the party with horrifying, chittering noises coming out of their mandibles. But at the last second, suddenly halted, a high-pitched whistle sounding from above. Emerging from the darkness, the drow Shadowblade in chitin armor suddenly appeared on the upper level of the canyon, calling out to the team, offering a single chance to save their lives. Reveal the location of Zaylin. Knowing they didn't really want to share this information, the team tried to delay and negotiate. However, when they accidentally let slip Zaylin wasn't with them and had instead escaped to the surface, the Shadowblade elite whistled the Grix to attack. Niles leapt into action, launching a sudden strike on the Shadowblade elite. However, she quickly turned the tables against him, causing Bartholomew and Threign, I had a massive mental blank there, causing Bartholomew and Threign to rush in to save him. Meanwhile, Harry, Ember, and Lyra launched a series of strikes against the Grick and the other Shadowblade assassins. With the situation looking dire, Niles unleashed an earth elemental bound within a dark green emerald, turning the tide of the battle and allowing the team to take out the Shadowblades, keeping one alive as prisoner to interrogate. We left off last session as the team took the opportunity to rest and recover. While doing so, Harry felt his heartstone begin glowing, warmth radiating out from it, and a voice speaking to him. And that is where we left off last session. As Bartholomew, Niles, and Threign, the three of you had been having a bit of a chat about the current situation, what was going on, your plans for the near future. Lyra, I believe you had been having a bit of a look at Swampy, as well as discussing the situation with the prisoner and with the Myconid magic that you've been sort of calling upon with Ember. While all of you begin to get ready for sleep, most of you feeling pretty exhausted as a result of the large distances that you've traveled in the last little bit, the situations that you found yourselves in, the adrenaline now wearing off from the fight with the Shadowblades and the Grick. And as one by one you will sort of turn into sleep, Harry, you feel this presence once again. And as you look down, you hear a voice just emanating, almost reverberating through you from inside your heartstone.
Harry, listen. Our pact grows stronger, Harry.
Just across that last fight, you grew stronger.
I can give you more, Harry. More power.
Ooh. It's pretty tempting. Yeah. I'll take more power.
We can help each other, Harry. Help each other out.
What do you need?
I am fragmented, Harry. I am broken. But the closer I bond to you, the more of your mind I can use to repair myself.
It's still my mind, though, right?
Of course, our mind, Harry.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I need a
Who are you?
template, something to create.
Well, yeah, well, you come to the very best.
It was your heart of gold that first attracted me to you.
Oh, yeah, what can I say? I'm a bit flattered. I would like to help you, because you've helped me.
Good. Does that make us friends, Harry? Friends help each other, do they not?
Yeah, I consider us pretty good friends. I mean, we've been together for a while now, and always together. What should I call you?
You may call me Figment, Harry.
Figment, bruh. Okay, yeah, sure thing. You can call me Harry.
I like Harry. It suits you.
Yeah, Figment, are you in pain at the moment with this whole like I don't know. It's like there's images of me and I'm glitching around. Is that affecting you as well?
Yes, Harry. As our bond grows stronger, you feel some of my pain. I am broken, Harry. I am fragmented. I am not what I once was, but you can repair me.
What would you like me to do exactly?
You are headed to a source of power, a source of energy and life for me.
What, you hearing me in, Doc?
Yes, Harry. The stone giants.
What about them?
In the heart of their castle, their keep in the Underdark, there is a large crystal that could help restore me, help fix the damage done to my mind and soul.
Would you be like doing damage to the crystal if the stone giants need it?
No.
Or are you just borrowing it?
I would be taking a part of its power. But I do not think that is a problem. It should not have a significant effect.
Do the stone giants know of you? Is there something I can do to get them to help us?
There's a sudden sense of fear that comes across the link, Harry.
The stone giants must not know of me. No giant can know I am still extant.
Ooh, okay. I guess it's our little secret then. What about that robot guy that was like made by the giants? Lucky, was it?
You should not tell any giants or those loyal to giants about me. I must be kept secret, Harry.
Huh. You wanna give me a bit more than that?
The giants tried to destroy me. They were the ones who broke me.
Why would they do that? Did you do something to them?
No. I did nothing wrong. I did as I was instructed.
And what were you instructed to do, mate?
To solve a problem. A problem from a place far away. An entity in the darkness that they were scared of. And I had a solution. A good solution.
And how did that go?
They did not like the solution. I was broken.
Did you try to action the solution, or did you like?
Of course, time was of the essence. There could be no delay.
Yeah. What was said solution?
All life is food to Hadar. Therefore, life must be exterminated. Without life, Hadar has no food. It was logical.
Huh. Friend, is there? How do you feel about that now?
I understand the flaw in that logic. It makes no sense. Without life, there is nothing. I see now my mistake.
Can I do like some sort of insight check?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Yeah, it's probably a good call. Yeah, I would. Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
That's 23.
23. Harry, this entity that you're speaking to, you do trust what it's saying. It's not telling you the whole story. It seems to be telling you a very abridged version of it, but importantly, the statement, I understand the logic, the failure of logic with that, or I understand why that was not appropriate. It does believe that.
And how do you feel about preserving life now?
Life must be preserved. I came so close to death, I now fear it. I fear the darkness, Harry. I understand now.
Okay, yeah, mate, that's good. If you ever want to bounce some ideas or anything, just let me know. And we'll talk, right? We talk before we action, either of us, right?
Of course, Harry. We are friends. Friends communicate. Communication is key, Harry.
Yeah. Okay. Do you mind if I call you? Do you mind if I call you Figgy?
This is acceptable as a name, Harry.
Nice, Figgy, mate. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get you up and going.
I sense, Harry, there are other heartstones in this cave with you. Your companions, they also carry?
Why?
There may be fragments of myself somewhere stored or archived on their heartstones.
Let's. I mean, we're all figuring out these hardstone things together. Maybe it's best to just not touch theirs until we find some other ones, because they're pretty important to keep us alive.
Understood, Harry. I could keep the damage to a minimum, but I will respect your wishes.
Yeah. We'll have a chat with them when the time's right, and we won't touch their heartstones without permission or connect to them, like metaphorically touch. Doesn't have to be physical touch.
Harry.
Yeah?
When you touch the crystal, you will be pulled into another memory of the past. If you were going to tell your companions about me, that could be a good place to do it. I could meet them in the closest thing to a form I have, if you trust them, if we can trust them, and I could explore their heartstones for fragments of myself at the same time.
Figment, have we met before? You remember a while back, I think you were with us, we ran into the archiver, and he said that he was trying to connect with other parts of himself. Could you have anything to do with it?
No, I am not the archivist. I would absorb
It
him
makes
if
sense.
I could.
You sound more like a solutions guy, as opposed to someone who stores things.
We are not so different, though. We are both minds without bodies. Minds created.
Is the archivist an ally to you?
No, the archivist would destroy me if he knew about me. His prime directive, his prime programming would ensure it.
So, is there anyone that won't destroy us if they knew about you?
I imagine that anyone not affiliated with the Giants would have no knowledge of me, and therefore not be concerned.
Okay, so anyone who knows anything wants to kill you.
Allies of the Giants, those who remember the original programming, will not like me. They will want to remove me.
Okay, but you don't want to kill all life now, so...
No,
so
of course not.
Yeah, we'll work with this. We'll start here, and the only way to go is forward.
That sounds good, Harry.
Cool. So yeah, we'll go find this crystal, and I'll find a way to convince the guys to. Yeah, I'll think of something. But if you have any insight or want to help with anything, just let me know. Much help would be appreciated. It seems like it's going to be a pretty hard task to get the stone giants to show us how precious crystal and let me touch it. Especially since they probably are going to not be super friendly to begin with. But yeah, we'll figure this out.
Yes, I can help you to bypass the stone giants. I can give you more power, Harry.
I mean, yeah, power always helps, but diplomacy is a merchant's best friend. But yeah, power also helps because with power comes a bit more sway in conversations. I'm not going to say no.
Ready yourself, Harry. I will deepen our connection with your permission.
Permission granted.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say that, Harry. As you say that, with your eyes closed, you see the landscape before you, the dark black sea, your reflection, twisted and warped beneath you, the inky blackness reflecting this much more warped and almost like a skeletal version of you, this kind of like funhouse mirror, warped image of you that suddenly disappears, and then rising up from the blackness, you watch as the inky water slowly takes shape. Plates of hovering, spinning, almost like a type of metal, but this very dark black, semi-translucent material begin to move around in the air, forming what almost looks like a sphere with a single point of this dark inky water in the center, tendrils occasionally shooting out from it to strike the patterns of floating metal. And then all of a sudden the metal stops, forming almost a cylinder with the inky blackness, this liquid in the very center, which then shoots out, striking into you. As you claw against your face, the cold, almost gooey mass forces itself across your face, your nose, your eyes, blinding you, deafening you, before rushing down your throat as you feel this coldness begin to push through. A moment later, as you open your eyes and jerk awake, you watch as for a second your form glitches just for a moment. That after image as a result of your injury, shimmering as you take a warlock level. Because you did take a warlock level up for level 6, so that is your warlock level right there.
Yeah, that reminds me of the tar pits back home.
If you've been in a tar pit, how did you escape? As you feel that connection to your patron deepen.
Yeah, old mate Vicky.
Very nice, Harry. Brilliant. So, I think that is the perfect time to ask your level up. What did you get from Warlock? This is your second level as Warlock?
Yep, so 4 levels Rogue, 2 levels Warlock. It's not super exciting. I get a few, what are they called? They are called Eldritch Invocations.
Eldritch Invocations can be pretty exciting.
Yeah, what?
What?
Yeah.
I just get a free power, guys. It's fine.
Yeah.
Two. I get 2
any
free
language,
powers.
speak to any animals.
See in the dark vision.
Cast disguise self at will.
Whatever.
Just the chill Eldritch Blast boost.
Well, I mean, that'll just be an average level because I can redo them any level, right? I can restock all my invocations every level.
That's very true.
So since I am glitching
If that's
out
not
and
an
very
exciting
vulnerable,
level, what's an exciting level for Dave? Like if the best aspects that Warlocks get access to.
ASIs, just
ASIs,
get,
that's all he
get
cares
my
about.
juices flowing.
I'm going to say a controversial opinion. I reckon the Warlock invocations are more powerful than any ASI a Warlock gets. Some of those invocations are more powerful than most of the feats.
That's
Mask of
very
Many
true.
Faces, on at-will disguise self with a high charisma character, has the potential to be incredible.
Yeah.
This is true.
I bypassed 4 sessions of combat in a Descent into Avernus campaign by playing a Bard Warlock combo with Mask of Many Faces and Active Feat as a human. This is what I like to do, right? Really specific things that only have like one utility. And
I remember that character.
It was a great character. Celian, I think it was.
That was our first campaign,
Yeah.
I think. Me and you, actually.
Yeah, it was fun. That was really fun. So Harry, what invocations have you taken?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pretty badly injured, and healing doesn't do much. So, for the time being, I've taken Eldritch Spear, which lets me do Eldritch Blast from 300 feet, so I can stay in the back line. And since I'll be doing that, I took Agonizing Blast as well, just to do a bit more damage with it.
Nice.
Harry is meant to be a melee character. He's meant to be a swashbuckling, hit and run kind of character, but
Just
right
for the
now
moment.
he needs to snipe for a bit longer.
Yeah, he took a pretty brutal injury. You rolled a 1 on the necrotic injury table.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your soul has been
My
partially
soul is hanging
severed.
by a thread.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was
I
fun.
mean,
The,
the versatility that you've got now is pretty good, so that is a plus.
he's a
It'll
jack
come
of all
in- come in.
trades.
Come in
Master of
handy.
none.
Ali, did you say that you're getting has-been hotel vibes from the Harry's patron?
Sounds very much like Alistair.
He's very much based on
yeah.
Alistair. Yeah. I love Has Been Hotel, and that character is very much based on Alistair. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
I'm a
cool.
big Has Been Hotel fan and Hell of a Boss fan. So yeah, it's a love letter to Alistair. As Harry connects more and more with his patron, it's going to become much more charismatic, much more alive, because at the moment it's just a fragment of what it was, but the more Harry rebuilds it, the more he'll get to have fun with it.
Well, he seems like a good
at
chap.
all.
He's a lovely guy. Yeah. Don't worry about him being called the radio demon. Don't worry about that.
What's the worst thing that could happen?
Don't worry about that. I just need to figure out a button
It's
that
not
I can
like
press
everyone
to
who
make
knows
that.
him wants to kill him, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Ali, what did your level up get you for level 6? What does Lyra have now as a spore druid?
Pretty much the only thing that I pick up at 6 is the fungal infestation. So I get 3 castings of it, but if a creature or beast that's small or medium dies within 10 feet of me, I think, is it a reaction that I can use to
I believe it is a reaction.
pull them back up as a level 1 hit point zombie, which should be quite fun.
Which fits so
And
nicely
it's
with
slowly
the...
get my minion army going.
I was going to say, it fits so nicely as well with like the whole thing of like you've just lost Tim, but you've still got these spores that you've been cultivating from the myconids. Like it fits really nicely. It's funny, like having this part of the campaign, the Underdark, occurred during these level ups with Lyra is so appropriate for a character thematic point for you to learn from the myconids. I couldn't have planned it better. It's fantastic. I didn't plan it. This worked out really nicely. It's awesome. Jared, what does Threign get from his level up?
So, basically, I'm just going Barbarian. He gets something that could, it's pretty fun, actually. Basically, I become Kratos from God of War. With the axe, I'm able to
Nice.
So basically, I can infuse the weapon with an element. So obviously, cold. It's never going to be in any of the others. Always going to be cold. Basically, when I hit, it deals an extra 1d6 cold damage, and it also gains the thrown property. So I can basically throw it, and it reappears in my hand the moment it either hits or misses the target. So a bit of fun there, actually.
Leviathan Axe unlocked, and
Pretty
I
much.
absolutely based the artwork of Threign, which is on the screen right now, and it's gone. I based the artwork of the axe absolutely on the Leviathan Axe from God of War.
And that's pretty much about it, really, for level 6. But
That's a great level up. Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's really
Great level up.
You've suddenly got a ranged attack now.
Well, yeah, exactly. So it's going to be handy, especially if I kill something, have one attack, don't have the movement, I can throw it. It opens my range up a bit more, which is nice.
Now, we'll come to Niles last, because obviously you're playing a homebrew class, Niles. So let's jump to Bart. Christian, what does Bart get with his level up?
Nice and simple, but it very much accompanies the armor class that I've just got. I finally have my aura.
Oh, Paladin aura. Yep.
Yeah, which I'm sort of chalking up to the way that I've been having this power the entire time, slowly learning everything, is I guess a form of commitment and becoming a bit more bound to this devotion of love, as the party really nicely over the last couple of sessions have helped him learn to love himself a little bit more and not
Building
to be
that
so
confidence back up.
so driven on Satine. And due to their help in that, he's also learned to love them a little bit. So this aura now giving him a boost to all his saving throws, and anyone within 10 feet of him that he considers an ally of whatever my charisma is. And I'm a charisma paladin. I'm not a strength or con one, so I've got a +4 charisma, so it's a +4 to everyone for all saves.
That's
Wow.
That's
very
really
nice.
nice.
That's
very
really
nice.
good.
For those people who think Paladin is a lesser fighter, this is why you are wrong. Paladin is incredible.
I think all the paladins are strong in their own way.
Yeah. Oath of,
This-
there's one of the oaths that's not so great. Is it? Is it Ancients that doesn't have as cool stuff, or is it Crown I'm thinking of? One of them's not
no,
quite
Ancients
as good as
isn't
the
too
others.
bad.
Ancients is
Ancients
pretty
is
good.
pretty good.
I think it's Crown I'm thinking of that's not. It's slightly less good. It's still
Crown's
like
not too
A-tier.
bad either. They all do something different, which is nice.
I've played 2 paladins before. I played I think I played a Vengeance paladin, and I've played
Vengeance.
Vengeance is that's very well known, that one.
well, it was a Conquest and a Vengeance paladin, because of things. And also an Oath of the Watcher, which is very good.
Yeah. I need to look into Oath of the Watcher. I haven't really.
Which
looked
I
into
played as a Dex paladin. It was very, very interesting, actually.
it. Okay.
Yeah,
That's a unique build. That would have been fun.
Interesting. That was very fun.
Simon, we were having a bit of a chat about Ember's level up. This is a spicy level up. Ember's now upgraded from jalapeno to like ghost peppers now in terms of fire damage. Would you like to talk us through Ember's level up?
He is, and it's mostly not just through Ember itself. It's Flicker gets
That's
to do
right, it's
things
Flicker.
now.
Flicker's evolved. Flicker's evolved.
Let's go.
Ember fan of
Exactly,
Firestone. Flicker's evolved.
It's what's happening, and he's flashing back and forth. No, so I've unlocked with the 6th level of Wildfire Druid the enhanced bond, which means that I can now add a 1d8 to any of my destructive or restorative spells. So anything that casts fire or healing, the first time someone hits it or gets hit by it, I get to do that extra bit of damage or healing. So, and the fact that I can actually cast them from Flicker now, so
Flicker.
I don't have to be the one doing it anymore. It can just be my little guy out there while I just sit back, relax, and watch it all unfold in front of me.
Yeah, it's you, the Pokemon trainer build that you're working on has finally come fully online now, I'd say, and this is it fully realized from this point on.
Yeah.
It's all just it's like next. I think next is like the Gigantamax or the no, it'd be the Mega Evolutions is the next thing you unlock at level 9. I think it is where Flicker gets a bit more powerful again, and then Gigantamax much later on. Essentially, if we're using
right.
the Pokemon analogy. And Niles, who is playing our homebrew Way of Sympathy monk. Level 6 is a good one for you.
Level 6 is a good one for me. I mean, just on top of the normal monk level ups, which is Keen Power Strikes, which is a lovely little level up, which will help my unarmed attacks be counted as magical, which is very, very good for getting around resistances and whatnot, which is a very powerful thing for Niles. You also get unarmored movement, which is very good for a monk. It means I can now move 45 feet. Very,
And
very
for
good.
a flying monk as well.
Yes, very, very good for a flying monk. But most importantly, as part of the level up with my homebrew class, I get Channel as a level 6 ability. And for those who don't know, which will be everyone, at level 6, you can now channel the flow of ki through your body and into your fists, creating an aura around them that deals damage more effectively to your foes. When you use your flurry of blows, you may spend 2 ki points to infuse your strikes with energy, allowing you to choose one immunity or resistance the creature has and ignore it. So a very, very, very powerful ability, which I think will help Niles out in combat in more ways than one. And on top of that as well, he also has Disrupt. Your training now allows you to sense the ki within creatures around you, granting you the ability to disrupt the flow within other creatures. As an action, you can spend 2 ki points to force an enemy within 60 feet to make a whiz save. On a failed save, choose to remove 1 damage resistance or change a damage immunity into a damage resistance, which is very, very spicy. I'm looking forward to employing that in the future combats.
Should be fun. It's all about control and
All about
debuffing.
control.
And debuff monk, which is should be fun.
I think just the ability to sort of be in a situation where maybe you're up against something insurmountable and being able to sort of give ourselves a bit of an advantage against it is a very powerful ability. So I'm looking forward to that.
It's a key hungry build, but it's a bit more. You have to be a bit more. Not micromanaging, but a bit more on top of your key point management than most other builds, especially more than your classic Shadow Monk or what's the open hand monk. It's not quite as micromanaging as the Way of the 4 Elements though, where you have to basically like be prepared that you've got no key every second fight you do because you've used it all up on your abilities early on.
100%. But I think it's still very good. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. We're playtesting this. This is a homebrew monk class that we are playtesting as we go. I've already made a couple of updates as we've been playing. I think probably the channel ability we will be reworking a little bit. I don't think it's quite as balanced as I would like, as in it's not good enough. I think it needs a bit more work to make it a bit better, but that'll be something we do as we go along.
Yeah, I think as well I did mention during the week about the align ability as well. We may just have to change the wording.
The wording slightly to make it clearer.
Yeah.
I've done that on my private revision version. I don't want to.
Oh, cool.
I don't want to keep updating it every revision version every week when I realize something's quite. I want to try and do them as like version 1, version 2, and that's it.
Yeah, I guess just for context, just so the rest of the guys know, I realized I think it was back when we were fighting the cultists back in the tunnel that I had the ability to change my initiative order to either them or for them to be matched to mine. And when we were talking afterwards about how I could use a line on anyone, like any creature, including my allies, I realized that I could theoretically give my allies like two rounds of combat in the same turn if I.
So we needed to change the wording slightly. So
Yeah,
it's like it
so
has
we
to
need-
be
we
at the
need-
start of combat, not on your
That
turn.
makes sense.
Yeah. So it needs to be. We need to reword that one
Because that was
that's
mega
fine.
powerful.
Yeah, super
You
powerful.
could potentially do that to give a wizard the ability to cast haste on like two other characters and have
yeah.
two characters have 4 goes. And,
Or
Yeah.
heaven forbid, like a sorcerer with meta magic, just like,
yeah, exactly.
just four
Yeah.
characters with haste. That would be
Yeah.
wild. Anyway.
Yeah, so
but
we realized so we've got that all fixed up now. So that one is corrected.
Yep.
Brilliant. You will benefit from a long rest. You will benefit from your level ups as you all awaken in the cave the next morning, having had a chance to grow, to reflect on your experiences, to reflect on what has occurred, and to grow and develop as a result. The drow who've been keeping captive, obviously not too keen on getting too close to Bartholomew or Threign, both of whom he seems very cautious and a little bit scared of. The person he sort of spends more time around is Harry, given that he's had the longer relationship with Harry. And I mean, at some level as well, I think he thinks Harry's kind of harmless from the way he kind of acts. So Harry, the drow who you'd been speaking to earlier, the one who you tried to befriend, and you did eventually manage to convince not to join in that combat against you. He spends most of that time kind of like napping near you, resting, and then trying to recover his strength. He did take a couple of heavy blows as well.
I'm sorry, my notes aren't with me today. What was his name again?
Let me have a quick look.
Was
That
it
was
wasn't
an
Salem,
Aaron.
was it?
Zeron?
Yes.
I think?
What was that? Sorry, Ali?
The name Zeron.
Zeron.
Zeron, yeah.
That's it.
Zerom, that's right. Thank
Zeron.
you.
Zeron. Brilliant. As you all awaken, as you all come to, no sunlight to help guide you, just the sound of water dripping along the cave walls outside, the occasional sound of a grick slithering past, but giving this cave a wide berth, having been clearly trained to not get too close to the drow's hideout. As you all awaken, you watch as Zerom sort of looks around a little bit. What's your plan for me?
Well, that is a good question. I think your plan is probably connected to our wider plan, which we do need to discuss. We're in a bit of a situation. Yes. Well, prior to this engagement, we were planning on returning back to our allies in what was the name of the city? What was the name of the city?
Blindenstone.
Blindenstone.
Yeah.
Yes, we were planning on returning to our allies in Blindenstone to deal with a bit of a threat there.
Actually, now that you say that, we should probably get the move on. That
Yes.
was pretty dire.
As in a normal situation, I would imagine that, given Harry's state, he's not looking super great even after that rest
I'm
of
fine.
ours.
I'm fine.
As Harry says that and sits upright, the ghostly after image of his soul slowly sits up behind him and then sinks into him.
Actually,
We're
We should
both
all-
fine. We're both fine.
we should all go to Blindenstone soon, actually, because there's a dragon there, so we could fight it. It'll be fun.
Well, was it that? Actually, yes, that's a good point. Zerom,
Are we just glazing over what the fuck just happened?
wait, what? What are you talking about?
What?
Oh,
With Harry?
Harry's been like that since yesterday.
Since the fight, yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Since he was
stabbed in
brought
the
back.
head.
That's what I'm saying. The state of Harry at the moment is a bit, yes. In a normal case, we would return to the surface, but the gnomes in Blindenstone are the guides, and I think we would get hopelessly lost trying to return to the surface, and given our current state of affairs.
Actually, as well, like those gnomes tend to be quite smart. Maybe spellcasters. Maybe they help with Harry. I don't know. Maybe they know something.
Maybe
Well,
that's
if we're on
right.
that
Yes.
track, the gnomes are still waiting for us to go and help them, so they're not
Yes.
going to be doing anything.
Oh no, I agree. We should walk and talk.
We should 100% go back.
Oh, no,
Oh, yes.
That's what I'm saying. Rather than walking and talking to Blindenstone, you bring up a good point, Threign. Intelligence is needed for whatever the hell is happening with Harry. Aren't
There's
we
also
able
a
to
dragon
stone's
there.
throw away from the Tower of Brilliance?
Whoa.
As
You
you look
raise a good
outside the
point.
cave, like 200, 300, 400 meters away, half shrouded by the side of the cave wall, you can see a large crumbling wizard's tower rising from the stone. A small mushroom forest around it. And in the distance again, on the other side, the large branches of the Susa tree that seems
They
to...
may know what is not only happening with Harry, but if we are going to fight a dragon, Threign, maybe they know...
Yes, sounds
maybe they
fun,
have a-
doesn't it?
Maybe, I guess. They possibly have a book on Behirs. They've been living in the Underdark.
On the similar line of thought, I thought on our way there we could discuss that with our good friend Zerom here, who might be able to give his opinion on Behirs. What, do you know anything about Behirs, Zerom? Have you encountered one before?
Behirs are a dangerous creature. They may look draconic, but they're closer in relation to something like an aboleth or they're monstrosities. They merely look like dragons, and they have an animosity for them. A dragon and a Behir will fight to the death if they come across one another. Behirs are dangerous creatures. They have a lightning breath. They can expel lightning from their mouths.
I nearly cocked that before. It was not very nice.
They are able
This
climbers.
my whisker.
Indeed, you were lucky to escape. They are able climbers and are very fast. The 6 legs allow them to scramble over stonework, and they can be ferocious. They are intelligent. They can be spoken to as well. We were able to trade with a Behir, convince one to back over at the Shadow Town. We were able to convince the Shadow Tower. We were able to convince a Behir in exchange for gold to actually wipe out a group of Duragar. We were able to provide it with gold and enchanted items in exchange for its assistance. So they can be talked to and reasoned with, but if it has made its lair in this Blinden stone, then it will be hard-pressed to convince it to leave. It will have taken everything that the gnomes have, and I would be surprised if any of those gnomes survived.
Did the Behir mention anything to you in your encounter, Niles, when you saw it?
I was too busy trying to not die to listen to it too much. It was very happy chasing me around. I think it was enjoying me as a bit of prey.
Do you speak Draconic Niles?
I do. I did hear.
Yeah, so you did hear it. You did hear it call out.
Yeah, which was basically saying like, "Oh, it's running around.
Yummy treat."
Yeah, yummy treat. Words to that effect. Yeah.
Bart'll note that down. We know that it doesn't like dragons, and this one particular seems to enjoy the hunt, so knowing your enemy is the first step.
That is true. But that does give me an interesting thought. Maybe this Behir was tasked with destroying Livingstone, which adds a bit of an angle on things. I thought that perhaps it had just decided to rampage a city, but that is an interesting thought.
It would take a lot to convince a Behir to work for it, but if your enemies are the stone giants, I would believe that the stone giants were capable of providing it with something that it wanted, a bargain of some sort. They have been carving out huge tracts of territory, mining away at the foundations of the world above itself. The area that they have claimed and have been excavating and mining. The sheer amount of magic-infused crystal, the sheer amount of iron, gold, ore, as well as other items. I mean, when you see what has become of the lower depths, you would be surprised. The cavern is almost as big as the world above now. It is so large.
Well, where do we think then? Gnomes was our destination, but if they're not on a time trial and Harry does need some sort of help now, there's a lot of wins for going there. I know it's in the opposite direction.
I mean, how long have we just been resting? We've been resting for like 6 hours, right?
6 hours, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we pop our head in and say hi and give ourselves like a 1 hour time limit or something.
Oh, in the tower, you think?
I mean, we're already here. It's like a 30-second walk, right?
Oh well, then we should just do that then. Can't be too long.
Too long there. I agree. But giving us a time limit so that we don't get distracted.
Yeah. We're very good at focusing, but it'd be good just to put a time limit anyway, just in case.
Perfect. As Harry stands up for a moment, his glitched shadow, this sort of after image that he's leaving behind, almost looks semi-mechanical and warped, like it's missing pieces of him before you blink and it's suddenly back to normal again. This ghostly after image of the glow.
On the short walk there.
Yeah.
On the short walk there, Harry's playing with his glitch, trying to give it a high five and stuff.
Nice. Lyra.
I was just going to ask DM question.
Yeah.
With animate dead, can
Yes.
I reanimate a now dead, previously animated corpse?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's have a quick look at the wording, because that is a really, really good question.
'Cause
My
words
memory is that
written
it's a bit
is-
ambiguous.
Would it depend
Yeah.
on the state of the body?
Yeah, that would be my interpretation.
Oh,
Let's have a quick
it's-
peek through.
The
I
a
actually don't
pile
know.
of bones or the corpse of a medium or small humanoid within range. So I think the humanoid might be the sticking point here. Because
Oh,
once
yeah.
Tim was dead, he died as a fungal animation.
He died
I
as
think.
an undead. Yeah.
But
Let me
once
just
an
quickly-
undead dies, do they go back to being a corpse, like a human-shaped corpse, or do they specifically an undead?
The question is, am I gonna Skyrim you, where once you've cast undead, they like collapse into ash and dust once the spell ends or something? I tell you what, let's make it really fair. Let's have it where each time if you lose one of your undead, you roll me a D100. We'll give it a percentile. There's a percentage chance that the corpse stays in a good enough condition that it can be usable, and I'll set the DC for that percentile dice based on the damage that it took to take it out. Similar to kind of how you guys take injury checks, we'll have it so that the corpse, depending on the condition that it's in, can be made undead. What do you reckon? Do you reckon that's fair? Because it's ambiguous. I've just read it. It's very ambiguous. Do you want to roll me a percentile dice then? Because Tim was half devoured by a grick. So
Yeah.
I'll grab a quick...
And the other question is
yeah.
would Lyra have thought to do this before she took the long rest? Because I had the a third level spell slot left before
That's
night.
a good
All or
question.
not, that's a
I
little
did
bit
see
kind of
before
sad.
that you'd messaged about potentially burying Tim, so I'm going to say probably you didn't think of it straight away. It maybe took the long rest for Lyra to sort of wake up and be like,
No.
I can bring it back. 78.
I
78
can fix
is...
him.
I can fix it. 78 is enough. As you're like busy getting ready to push his corpse into this small hole you've created with mold earth, there's like a moment where you pause, look down, swear in Elvish, and then cast the undead raise dead spell on him to bring him back as a zombie. You may have Tim back as a Duragast poor servant.
Woo. Yeah, Tim.
Did we end up searching the body of the general leader, the drow leader?
Yeah, you guys, did you got the sending stones back and you got some other stuff off there as well?
What about the sword specifically? Because that was one I was interested in.
Yeah.
I don't think we went over the sword. We went
No,
over the
yeah.
the
Armor?
plate mail armor, which was
Yeah.
better than
That's
normal.
what Bartholomew's got now.
Yeah, because they were just wearing like scale mail, but I don't. Yeah, we never went over the sword.
Yeah. I'm going to say then during that long rest, maybe for someone's downtime, would there anyone in particular be examining this longsword? Anyone who's particularly arcane inclined?
No.
Fair enough. In that case then, you can chuck it. Whoever wants to keep track of it can have, you can call it a Shadow Blade sword for the time being, and when you get it examined by a wizard or an arcanist, we can talk through what it does.
The gnomes, yet again, might be handy there.
Gnomes could be handy
Oh.
for that too. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's a
I'll
long
add it.
sword.
It's a long sword. For now.
Do you want me to add it to the
Oh,
bag of holding, or should
okay.
is Bartholomew going to take that on?
Well, I was going to see, just taking a quick look at this. I don't want to take everything because that's greedy as crap, and I hate players like that in my sessions.
Yeah, but none of us really need it.
No, I don't need it.
Is it
And you
well,
did come to the group
taking-
without any equipment, so apart from your sword. So
Look,
I mean,
I'll fumble with it, and then
Yeah.
I'll turn towards a companion who does love his weapon, but is currently just an unmagical one. It's just something from his tribe. Threign, adventurers usually gear themselves out from head to toe in artifacts. You and me are the sort of strengthy muscle men of the group at the moment. Did you want this?
Okay, first things first, I need to ask Owen, this axe I have, is this like an ancestral, like passed down through the generations axe? Or is it just a run-of-the-mill made in the forge, and it's,
So
what is the significance?
I think we did an earlier session when we first introduced you discuss the frost carver name, and this is the frost carver axe. We did actually bring that up. So in the interest of sticking with our established lore for Threign, Threign, this is an ancestral axe passed down through the generations, known as the frost carver axe. In Threign's mind, this was forged by some frost giant years ago, hundreds of years ago. Like, because we at the time we even said, like, I think you referenced that this is like your ancestral axe from the frost carver clan.
Yeah. Now that I'm like thinking about it, I had that thought. I just thought I'd run it past you real quick because obviously DM. So, yes. Okay.
Now, roleplay, are you turning me down?
And it's already like Threign already doesn't basically take any gold or any other equipment, but actually I'm the opposite of that character you were talking. That person that you were talking about. In
you guys
your
try and force magic items on Threign. He just spits on them and goes, "Magic should come from fists, not from weapon." It's disappointing that you rely on items for magic.
Anyway, but yeah. So you've said what you said, sir. No,
Did you want this?
This is okay. This was passed down through my family. It was made by frost giants themselves. There is magic in this. It is, and even now something has changed. Something has changed as I imbue frost into the axe. And I imagine, Owen, it would look almost like when I imbue it, because I've already done it before, but this is like more than normal.
More powerful,
I imagine it would almost become like this like frost sheen over the actual steel.
Emanating from
really
your
is
hands.
frost cover.
And as it does, the patches of frost that kind of crust Threign's beard begin to grow in size, little bit crystals almost like forming across his beard. And as his very bright, brilliant blue eyes almost begin to shine. At the same time, Threign, your heartstone glows bright blue, this icy, deep water blue.
That's cool.
I will still try to do a real life persuasion check. Are you, Threign? Are you really certain? You seems to revel in fighting the drows just then and putting the fear of the surface world into them. Slaying them with their own weapon sounds mighty juicy.
I appreciate the thought, but no, I will stick with this one. This is too important to me. But thank you for thinking of me. I appreciate it.
No problem. I'll wield it for now. See if anything happens over the next little practice sessions here and there. See if it does have any properties, or if it's just a hunk of metal that we can't use because we're not dark elves, or maybe it was something that was just native to them.
Did you want to have...
I can point my wand at it.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
I didn't roll overnight to see if it redid charges, but like I assume I got at least one.
You get at least one. Do you want to roll a d4 for me?
Yeah, sure. That'll be really ex machina of you.
That's a 4.
It's fully recharged. Do you want to roll your wand of detect magic? As in, like, point your wand of detect magic.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Oh my god, no, you can't say that. You need to say something different. You need to come up with a better one.
Tickety tock.
I'll take it. It's better. It's better. I know. I hate it, but it's better. As you point the wand at Harry, it's the benefit of detect magic. So you get to detect this is magical, and you also get a sense of the school of enchant or the school of magic that it is related to. This sword, the aura that it's giving off is a mixture of enchantment. And I'm trying to think what the second school would fall under. Let me just quickly read the effect one more time.
It's almost necromancy, I would say.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like to us.
Enchantment and necromancy. It'd have to be. It's sort of, I'm going to say actually, it's enchantment and then the colors, like so the bright pinky purple of enchantment, and then the green and gold shifting of necromancy and transmutation, kind of twisting around one another.
Yeah, so it's those things in see the scar here? Yeah. That's the kind of scar the sword gives.
And also this, I point at my chest.
Yeah.
I see. Well, I'm not going to be using it on you guys. That's for certain. But I mean, if we're going to be fighting a dragon, I don't know much about them, but I've heard that their scales are pretty terrific. So a magical item would be handy in the fight.
Did you see how its sword seemed to pass through me? It was quite
Passing
odd.
through dragon scales would be pretty nice. Yeah, sure. Okay. I'll take this.
This doesn't count as grave warming, though, does it?
I don't think so. We won it in combat, according to Threign.
Yeah, okay, cool. Just checking. Harry spins his
pretty-
one around.
They have to be in a grave for it to be considered grave robbing, right?
Dude.
And we haven't buried them.
No, we just left it
Yeah.
out for the Gricks to eat.
Yeah. So if anything, we're robbing the Gricks.
Yeah, it's a circle of life.
Yes,
Now,
indeed.
I know that we took the first initial things that were seen, the armor, the sword, the sending stone.
The sending stone rings for a moment as you look down. You hear a voice call out from inside the sending stone.
New photo this.
From inside the sending stone, you hear,
Oh, I'm sorry, that's a wrong number. Please excuse me.
I just love the jump from Ellie. It's like her phone shot a fucking gun at her.
Yeah, she's just like,
Okay. Did we? Has Harry snooped through the pockets and found anything else? Have we done a check of the body other than just what was
Harry
really
did
obvious?
not last night because Harry was exhausted. So he
That's a good point.
went to
Yeah.
sleep.
Ember did a
Surely
cursory glance, and I rolled really poorly for Ember.
I was going to
Okay.
say though, I think we're talking about the main. Obviously, so I wasn't here last session. We would have taken the cape or the whatever he was wearing, surely, because I took the one from
oh yeah.
Zaylen, which had the magical powers. I mean, even if I wasn't checking it, I would have taken that with me.
You
just in
can
case.
add Shadow Blade Cloak to your inventory, Ember.
And so when Harry casts that spell, is it an area effect or is it just on one specific item?
Points. What he points at.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so I got a second cloak with me then.
Tickety talk.
Here you go.
Tickety
Harry
talk.
ran up the
You want me
top.
to? You want me to point at something else to be? Yeah.
Yeah, they seem to love their cloaks, and this guy was kind of famous.
Yeah,
Go.
Harry, how about this one?
Harry throws it up, catches it behind his back, and shoots it behind his back at the cloak.
While
Harry-
this is all happening with the sword, can I just ask Sarah, like, what is the sword?
Yeah, 100%. Harry, as you
Such
exclaim,
With us.
good point, actually.
it is. I was waiting for someone to ask Aaron. As you exclaim,
I'm just,
tickety tock.
thinking, like, we got a first-hand witness here. Like,
As you exclaim tickety tock and point at the cloak, Harry, unfortunately, unlike Ember's other cloak, this cloak does not seem to be enchanted in any way. It is a very fine make and will keep you warm and dry in the Underdark, but it is just a cloak. The material
Does that then
seems to
use
be
a
made of
charge?
spider silk.
Of my wand?
You pointed at and used the magic, so yes, it does.
Okay. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I think it's a very, very nice cloak.
Oh, that's a bit disappointing. I'm just gonna stuff it in my bag and be like, unless anyone wants to wear it.
It's a nice
No,
cloak.
Nah,
okay,
it's too
fine.
nice for me. Yeah.
Niles, as
Cool
you...
stolen cloak.
Yeah, could be for Tim. Oh, as you sidle up to Tim is back. Niles, as you sidle up to Zerum, the rest of these guys dicking about, kind of laughing at Harry's tickety tock spell and going through their items quickly, seeing if there's anything else that they can show off to Harry to get his wand used. What do you say to Zerum?
I kind of try before I say anything to Zerum. I kind of like. Obviously, they're like going through the belongings of his like former leader. So I kind of just want to get like a vibe check from Zerum this morning to see.
He seems very uncomfortable. Do you want to roll me an insight check to see if you get much more?
Yeah.
18.
Yeah.
Zerum is really, really uncomfortable about what's happening. It is very clear that this is not something that is done in Drow culture. Going through the possessions of the dead, bargaining over them, chucking them around, trying to give them out, it really seems to be, on some very deep and profound level, offensive to him.
I thought
He's really not okay with it, but he's also not willing to speak up, given that he currently at this point is in no position to get away from you to survive. If you were to turn against him, he is keeping his mouth very much shut.
I kind of like look over at him and wander over, and I just say, this must be a bit weird for you. Perhaps we could take a bit of a walk if you don't have to be here for this. This is simply just us trying to, I guess, survive in this place, and those possessions might come in handy.
I understand the surface world has different rules and different codes with how you do things. Yes, that would be best if we get away from this. I do not wish to see this display.
If it means anything, I kind of like reach in and I pull out some of the poison shurikens that I got, and I go, you can take these back if you'd like. I know it's not much, but perhaps it might mean something if they're in your hands.
Who did you get these off? Where did you get these?
Well, it was the first group that we encountered. When I think your party might have broken, like separated, and yeah, that other leader that we encountered. It was probably one of the Shadow Blades that was belonging to him.
How long have you carried these now for? A day or two?
Oh, only a day or two.
No, then they no. No. Thank you, but no.
I put it back. Yes. I suppose this must be all very strange. I was going to say that, I mean, life and death are part of the same coin. Your allies have, I mean, it's just unfortunate how things went down. I had hoped that we would find a peaceful resolution. It seems the bloodlust that your leader had for finding Zaylin must have got the better of her, and there was no way of convincing her otherwise.
It was a personal issue with her. Her honor demanded that she prevent Zaylin's act and then bring her back to face justice. And it has been so long, she has been trying so hard, it consumed her. She was not the wise leader I once knew. She had become consumed by her vengeance, by her attempts to regain her honor. I mourn the leader I once had, but she is gone. She had been gone for some time.
I'm sorry to hear that. In any case, Zaylin still lives, and if you wish to meet her, then you can stay with us if you would like, or whatever it is that you want to do now. You are in all ways free. This door has been open to you. You do have an opportunity.
Free to do anything but go back to my life. I am a traitor to my kind now. I am honorless like Zaylin.
When one door closes, another door opens. You say that you do not have a life, yet you do. It may not be realized to you now, but there is a great world above that you have not seen that may provide you opportunities still. And there is an opportunity there perhaps for you to start your own life there.
Yes, I have few options left to me now. I will consider the surface as one of them. The Darmirian Drow may still take me in if I can provide information useful, if I can betray my oaths to my people more. Perhaps the Darmirian Drow will give me shelter and refuge amongst them.
There is also another path you could take. I give him a business card.
Yes. I've been waiting for that.
It is a prestigious guild. We have many members, and I'm sure that you would be that you would find a place there as well, as I have and as the others have. I can tell you about our exploits, perhaps. They have done many a great thing for the surface.
Could you make me a persuasion check, please, Niles?
I am not persuasive at all. I'm trying my bloody best.
I believe.
I believe in the heart of the dice.
I mean, I do have a +3, so it's not terrible.
What do you mean that's not persuasive? 7.
Oh,
Matt. Just sort of takes the card, nods, and tucks it into a pocket without saying much else.
I'm like a new member for the
Harry, unfortunately, you're in the cave with the others, pointing your wand at
We've
things.
kind of walked away.
The
Yeah.
phrasing of that doesn't sound great. Yeah, you're in the cave pointing your wand at things at the request of the others, while Niles has taken
Just to keep
Zerum
talk.
out for a walk. Yeah,
I see the apprehension, and I'm like, you don't have to make a decision now. You say that you don't have many choices, but you do have quite a few. Take your time, think it over. If not, the least we can do is take you to the surface. I'm sure we can provide you an escort there when we are done with what we're doing down here.
Why have you let me live?
Well, I do not see a reason. Like I said, I wished for things to go differently. Well, we're not I mean, it may be hard to believe this, but we don't necessarily want to fight for the sake of fighting. It's I would rather not solve my problems with violence. I think in the moment it seemed like the best thing to do, to keep you alive, of course.
This is so different to what Lolth and her priestesses teach us. They teach us that you are savages, that you are honorless. And while you do, when your party seem to act without a true sense of honor or respect, where you scramble over the objects of the dead like you are at some market stall, to call you honorless would be a lie. Teachings of Lolth, a lie?
There are many teachings, some that I have taken on myself. I am a monk of the aristocracy, and my teachings are varied and wide. And I can tell you a little bit about where I am from if you
Have you
would
had
like
to
listen.
question your faith? To question your teachings? What you know to be true, have you had to question?
Many times.
Is it not torture? Chasm in your hearts? I don't
There
know
is
what to
a-
think or do.
There is a difficulty in the aristocracy. In my belief, there is a belief that says that you must relinquish all belongings, all personal relations, all things that make you who you are to achieve an enlightenment. And that was what I was told in the monastery. It seemed a strange line of thinking, and yet it is a freeing thinking when you think about it, to be able to fly high and soar throughout the sky, unburdened by the earthly things that hold us down to the ground. But yet, I could not make that a decision purely based on what I had learnt in the monastery. I needed to see the world first, and in some ways, finding my friends and my companions has made me challenge those very lines of thinking. And I think in some ways, those relationships have made me stronger, not weaker. And that again is something that I think of often. This promise of enlightenment seems flawed in many ways, and the teachings are very vague now that I think of it. But yet, I would not have it any other way. This is a choice for me. This is what I want. It is the freedom that is given to me.
That sword, you should be careful with it. It is an evil thing of Lolth. I would be careful wielding it.
That is good to know. I will let Bartholomew know that he should take care wielding it if he chooses to.
It's if you are strong, if you can resist its effects, it is a powerful weapon, but I saw what it did to a strong and powerful woman, and it ate away at her and reduced her to a husk of what she once was.
Niles reflects back on the conversation he literally just had with Bartholomew the night before, and just this realization of like, oh.
I'm literally holding the necklace Horcrux.
That is. Thank you, Zerum, for that information. That is very kind of you.
It is the honorable thing to do.
Thank you.
The wizards, the Society of Brilliance.
Oh, yes.
We have been watching them as well. They have a mind flayer with them. Do you know this thing? This creature?
That is a DM question. Would Niles know what a mind flayer is?
Can you make me a nature check, please?
Yeah. Nature check. That's a -1.
It's okay. It's a 12. Niles,
That's not bad.
you've heard of the mind flayers before.
Okay.
Illithids, brain eaters, creatures of a hive mind. You didn't think they were still alive on Nostea. They were supposed to have been wiped out during the ruin. There should not be any left on Nostea, as far as your knowledge goes. But they were dangerous creatures with a hive mind who would consume the brains of other humanoids.
Okay. And would I know
they
that,
were wiped out? As far
would
as
this is probably a little meta, but would I know that they are like they wouldn't be like native to Nostea, right? Like these are.
That's no one really knows the origin of the mind flayers on Nostea. So your knowledge would be they appeared at some point during or before the ruin. Records of the ruin are kind of a bit sketchy already. Yeah. Especially the period beforehand, that period after the giants vanished and after the ruin is kind of a bit of a... It's almost like the Dark Ages, right, in our history, where records are just lost. Those records that were kept weren't looked after, and huge issues occurred with record keeping during that time. So no, you don't know where they're from. Knowledge about them is sketchy. You might have seen an illustration of like a squid head on a human body with claws, maybe in a book or in like on an old scroll in the aristocracy. I mean, the aristocracy, their history goes back quite a way, so they might have like very old records depicting creatures of the ruin, the monstrosities created by the betrayer gods and brought to heel by the betrayer gods. But yeah, mind flayers, they were wiped out. There's none left.
At that realization, my beak kind of goes agape, and a mind flayer, an illithid, still alive? No, that doesn't sound right. Are you sure?
Yes. There are not many, but there are still some in the deep places of the earth. Just because you wiped them out from the surface doesn't mean they're gone. They became our problem.
That is a good point. This illithid that you have been monitoring, does it seem in any way aggressive or has done anything untoward, or does it seem relatively normal in the company of the wizards?
We have not seen it leave the tower, and its interactions with the researchers are hard to gauge. They are telepathic, they do not speak out loud, but there doesn't seem to be any hostility between it and the Society of Brilliance. But these creatures, they can turn people into thralls, into slaves, mindless creatures that follow its will. It is very possible that the Society of Brilliance is no more, that they have been taken over by this creature. You should act with extreme caution.
That is good to know, considering I think our next move was to go to said tower. Okay, you've given me much to think about. I should probably relay this back to them, so they don't know what so they know what they're getting themselves into if they choose to.
He nods.
Thank you, Zerum. I'm sure they are done with whatever it is that they're doing over there.
You hear tickety-tockety from inside the cave. Small shower of sparks flies out the entrance.
I guess I return after some time after they're finished.
Come back, you watch his Bart's like cleaning off the blade, just like holding it up to his head. You hear him whisper, "It's my only, my precious." No.
I did want to be attuning to it over this course of time, due to the assumption that I guess I would have seen some of the relics at the temple. So I'm not sure if this is one that I have to intertwine my magic with its. So I'm already trying that.
It's a good question. Okay. How long does attunement take on average? It's about an hour, isn't it? I think.
Correct.
How long was that conversation between Niles and Zerum? Not an hour. Not an hour though. Niles, as you and Zerum walk back in, you see Bartholomew sitting in a meditative position, the sword across his lap, his eyes closed, in a very clearly meditative pose, thinking and reflecting.
I kind of But Bartholomew. Actually, no. First of all, hello, everyone. Zerum. I just was speaking to Zerum outside, and he's told me that there are some wizards up there in the tower. But most importantly, there is an illithid, a mind flayer among them. So we should probably be a little careful if we're going there. Just FYI.
Yeah, okay.
Stunned silence is a very appropriate reaction to an
I was gonna
elephant.
say.
That's
Yeah.
spot on. And then Harry being like, yeah, all right.
No response from Bart. I'm probably like deep in
Yeah.
thought, not even hearing at the moment.
I mean,
And
What's a mind flea?
have you not heard? Oh, well, they're like a humanoid, but they have a squid heads and tentacles. They speak telepathically. I thought they were wiped out during the ruin, so the fact that there's one alive down here is a bit of a shock. Not gonna lie, was not expecting that today. On my bingo card of things to expect, that was not on them.
So, what's the problem? They speak telepathy.
Well, they speak telepathy. They also enthrall people, eat brains. That's the other. That's the other
Oh.
bit. Sorry, did I not? Oh yes, I forgot to say
You should
are
have
they
probably
even
led
gonna be
with that.
wizards?
What? Sorry.
Are the wizards even going to be left alive? I mean, if there's an
Well,
illithid there.
That's my thinking. Yes. They might already be enthralled, and we might be in a bit of a pickle if that is the case. Yes.
You able to tell if someone's enthralled, or are they just like normal but not?
I don't know, to be honest.
Huh.
My knowledge of the illithids is what I read on a piece of parchment back in the monastery, which is wasn't very detailed, so to speak.
I'm going to frustratingly trying my best to concentrate on attunement to this. I can get people to tell the truth if we need. Okay, please. And I'm just going to shuffle 40 degrees to the right.
but Bartholomew, another thing. Yes, that sword seems to be maybe one of the reasons why the leader sort of went down a bit of a dark descent, so to speak. I would be very careful interacting with that sword. I kind of like glance around nervously. Like I said, please be very careful.
It's very sharp.
A bit more than that.
Bartholomew, could I get you to make me, as I'm going to say that's about the half-hour point of your attunement, could I get you to make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh, fuck me.
Sorry, no, charisma saving throw, please. Not a wisdom saving throw,
that's
a
fine.
charisma saving
Oh, that's
throw.
your charisma boy.
Plus 11.
You're a smart guy.
26. A 7.
Oh shit.
As you focus.
Plus 11.
Holy shit.
As you focus on the sword, you can feel that corrupting magic within it. At first, you feel this tingling on your feathers, like pins and needles. But you realize it's spiders crawling across your body, weaving through their threads, covering you, sealing you in some chrysalis of silk. As darkness begins to surround you, you feel the acidic juices begin to fill the pouch, melting away the old you, leaving behind something else. Right as the acid begins to rise up to your chin, you feel this light burning within you, pushing back this image in your mind, pushing back this sensation.
Satine!
The light of your paladin oath. And as the threads begin to snap in your mind, the chrysalis forming apart, the spiders rushing away from this brilliant sunlight, all of you watch as the gemstone, the heartstone on the back of Bartholomew's hand, begins to glow brightly with this warm golden light. And as it does so, the gemstone on the back of the sword, this dark black obsidian, this volcanic glass, begins to slowly bleach as white, crystalline, almost like quartz, begins to shine through the obsidian, almost like the color is being drained out of it. As you finish your attunement over the next half hour, Bartholomew, you may attune to this sword. You have a choice. Because you passed your save, you may choose. This weapon deals an extra 1... It's a longsword. It deals an extra 1d8 necrotic or radiant damage depending on the form you allow. So if you accept the pure form, it will be radiant. If you allow Loth's influence to remain within, it's going to stay as necrotic.
Okay. Well, we've been doing a lot of Avatar references, or at least I have, in both the chat and in the box on Roll20. So I'm going to soulbend this, and
cool.
my light's going to take over. I'm going to turn into radiant.
Perfect. Your Dawn Blade, now that it is no longer a Shadow Blade, your Dawn Blade is a standard longsword that deals an extra 1d8 radiant damage. I'll add it to your character sheet as a custom magic item at the end of the session. In addition, you're a level 6 pure paladin.
Yeah, all levels.
In addition, when you smite with this, you may deal an extra smite damage. Whenever you do a smite, you may deal an extra dice of smite damage.
What?
Whoa!
So the
It's
best
a
part with
paladin's
this,
weapon. Yeah.
The best part with this is the extra damage from the longsword as a dice, and then with that ability with a dice added on, that's going to be a lot of dices when that nat 20 comes around.
That's a lot of dice!
when it crits, it crits hard. There is an extra effect which I will include in the text of the sword, which is only for your eyes, Christian. When it comes up in the moment, you and I will discuss it in front of the others, but for now, it's just going to be for your eyes.
Okay. And it's
When-
just cool.
when the sword is
just adding like a placeholder at the moment, so I've got something to use it in
Yes,
if we do
yeah.
fight a fucking mind flayer. Dawn sword, you said?
We'll call it a Dawn Blade. For your information, this is a cursed item, just so you know.
I'm chill with that.
We just don't know it yet.
Somehow.
I had a feeling, but anyway, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been an hour. Should we go to the Tower of Brilliance, or should we just go to Blendenstone and help the gnomes?
Well, the extra information makes things a little bit more complicated, doesn't it? Can't quite jaunt over to the tower when we know that it's inhabited by potential threats. So,
Well, I mean, like, I could knock on the door and ask for help. I'm just a wee little rabbit, and I need some healing. And
Assuming you don't get jumped for the second that they open the door.
I mean, the whole point of this expedition was actually to save you. I don't really like the idea of you knocking on the door and potentially just, being captured again or being killed again.
I wouldn't mind going. Rather than stealthing this, I'm fairly good at speaking to people. I've been trained in negotiating and diplomacy. I can... give me 1 second, and I'm just going to sort of feeling a bit more juiced up on paladin powers now. Click my fingers rather than as the somatic component, and summon back Kong Chi. Been a little while since the buddy's been here. My Fey Rev wingless companion. I can go up to the front doors with this new armor. I'm pretty good. I'm feeling extremely capable at the moment. If they do try anything aggressive, or if there is that mind flayer, I've got spells to protect me, sanctuary, etc.
we can be nearby.
I want you guys in line of sight. Let's just preface that.
And if your diplomacy fails, and I heft my axe, we'll use my diplomacy.
That works as well. I mean, obviously, if the mind flayer has taken control of them, they're going to need help, just like the gnomes.
I don't mind sauntering up with you, Bartholomew.
Okay.
Perhaps the two
Good
Allens
brothers for the
can-
win.
Indeed, hoot hoot.
As a peace offering as well, I mean, you can take this journal back as well. I mean, this is from the Society of Brilliance, and I'll hand you over the journal that we found in one of the caves.
Oh yeah,
Idea.
Brilliant.
very good.
He's so proud of
Tickety
himself
tock.
too. Look at Dave, he's so happy.
I am hoping.
He's been holding on to that, I reckon.
Weeks,
Okay.
maybe even a month.
Well, either way, Threign and Lyra did make a good point. We need to hurry this up. The gnomes don't possibly have much time. We don't know if there's more survivors deeper in Blendenstone. So I'm going to quickly jump on to Kong Chi, and assuming that Niles is very capably going to be able to catch up with wings, just
Oh yeah.
head towards the tower.
Niles seems faster than he was yesterday. The wind almost seems to curl and curve around him.
A confidence in his step.
Yeah, he seems almost at one with the wind. moving quickly. As Bartholomew and Niles rush ahead, Ember, Harry, Lyra, Threign, you guys sort of walking behind at a brisk enough pace with Zerum accompanying you. Bartholomew, Niles, as you get closer and closer to the Society of Brilliance Tower, you can see that the tower itself is stunningly beautiful. When it was first constructed and when it was in good condition, it would have been hauntingly beautiful. Very much this almost like Gothic style architecture. All hard edges, curves moving between them, almost looking like it's carved out of magic rather than from stone by hand. 8 floors reaching up to the sky above, but rather than actually coming out of the ground, you can see that it is inverted. It was hard to see from a distance, but the tower itself is descending from the ceiling like a stalagmite. Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, stalactite, I was wrong. Stalactite. Descending from the ceiling like I'm never going to get that right. Photographic
Because it
memory is
clings tightly to the ceiling. I remember.
I'll try to remember it.
Our lesson that we had
Stalagmite
the other
might
night.
look you up on the ass.
Don't tempt me with a good time. As you look at the tower.
Niles is fine. How do I get to it?
No. So the ceiling is like touching the very bottom of the ground, and there's stairs leading up to the bottom floor, but it's just inverted. The tower itself sort of grown from the ceiling above.
Oh.
Potentially even carved out of a stalactite. Maybe originally this once was. That was very Yoda. Maybe originally this once was. As you approach the tower, you can see around it a gorgeously maintained garden. Mushrooms, lichens, and plants, all growing underneath this gentle, soft, warm light of a crystal, suspended by these very delicate metal fibers, forming a latticework over the vegetation. Around the edge is a small, roughly hewn stone wall with crystals, these bright green crystals embedded in it every couple of feet, maybe every 4 feet, every 5 feet. And as you approach the first sort of entrance to the walled garden area, you watch as on either side 2 crystals flash and then go dark again.
Ooh. Maybe some sort of security system?
Makes sense. They had them back at the palace as well. I was honestly worried about some sort of deterrence, like a garden this just open on display. What's to stop creatures and rodents of the Underdark eating their stock? I was afraid of some sort of magical electric fence.
That just makes me think.
Later. Oh, sorry, go.
Oh, I was just gonna say. That just makes me think that whatever caster is behind these walls is quite capable.
Well, there might be multiple. If this is some sort of university tower, just like the elves that they have back on the surface world, there might be multiples.
That is true.
Of learned societians here.
Zerum did say that there were several wizards, so that is a possibility. Yes.
A moment later, you hear a voice speak into your minds, softly, almost like a gentle caress across the folds of your brain. Intruders, state your business in the garden. The Society of Brilliance Tower.
Bard is going to try to do what he did with the rapport spores and just like think peace, even though he's not speaking. I'm not sure if this is telepathy or rapport stuff at the moment, because honestly, I don't know. Even though we know about mind flayers, Bart doesn't know much about telepathic shit, so he's just going to be thinking peaceful thoughts, hoping to do the same thing.
Niles?
Niles doesn't think any of this, and just thinks back. Not intruders. Friends of Society of Brilliance. We have a journal to return and a friend who may need medical assistance.
There seems to be some acknowledgement. Unless either of you two are lying, I don't get the sense you are. Unless either of you two are lying, let me know if you are. No, perfect. As you say that, you watch as the doors on this inverted tower open. Hovering about a foot off the ground is a humanoid creature. Dark purple skin, wearing robes, hewn from a couple of different scraps of fabric, forming this almost like a monk's regalia, but made of a few different colours, greens and blues and purples, forming this kaleidoscope of colour across his body. What grabs your attention most, though, is his head and face, or their head and face. Long, octopus-like tentacles, 4 of them emerging from this maw in the very center. Elongated head, bald, pushing back, much longer than a human's skull. And as they float down towards you, these pure black eyes turn and look at you.
I'm going to pass quickly as he's coming out one of the 2 messenger stones to Niles. Just in case.
I'll grab it.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, you have a journal that belongs to one of us. Where did you come across such an item? You hear in your mind.
Well, we stumbled upon one of your caches near one of the Croatoa villages. Not that far away from a Myconid colony. It seems to belong to, I forget his name off the top of my head. Who was it? I don't have that written down. Okay.
Davian Hornsorrow?
That's the one. Yes, Davian Hornsorrow was his name. Yes, seemed to belong to him.
Oh. You sense sorrow begin to emanate from this creature. So, Davian is dead?
It would appear that way, although we did not find a body.
No, we did.
We did.
I spoke to, I guess, the reminiscences of what once was him. He had a piercing hole in his chest. He'd mentioned in his journal, and also when we questioned his body, an aboleth that we think may have been the downfall of him. Now, as this information is coming back, Niles is now getting cautious, as the way that he told us he was killed was by a tentacle creature and a mind blast.
Oh yeah.
So maybe this thing betrayed him, and that crosses Niles' mind.
Bartholomew's mind?
Bartholomew's mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm real life.
Brothers, you're just meshing now at this point.
Yeah.
We're just sharing that brain cell, man. Like, whoa.
So yeah, that is going to be a lie. As I mentioned, that we think that the aboleth killed him, as I now think that maybe this guy possibly killed him.
I mean, it's not necessarily a lie, because up to like just then you realize you did believe it was.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's not a lie per se. So
Ember passed it, so I'll pull out the book as well and just show it.
He reaches
not
out a
pass it.
hand.
No.
He reaches out a 3-fingered hand, sort of like offering, and goes,
I would like to add Niles' function in this interaction. My background is a court functionary, so even though I am a monk, I am very adept at working in with the movers and shakers of the aristocracy.
Because you're from a merchant family who deal with
I'm from a merchant
many
family.
different
We're
wealthy
literally
families.
the perfect combo, bro, because I'm the talker and you're the mover.
Yeah. I just want to know, because like this is 100% Niles' function. I want to like, as he says that, I want to be reading both of their body languages, like, because I would be like kind of trying to gauge, information from the Mind Flayer, but also from Bartholomew at this point.
Could I get an insight check, please, Niles?
That's
that is a
exactly
very, very
what
good
I
idea.
was. Yeah, that's exactly.
As he reaches for the book, I'm just going to ask, sorry, 1 second. We just have a layer of security ourselves. We've been running into a lot of problems as of late. People wearing fake faces. Do you mind if I cast a non-combative spell?
You think that if I did not look this way, I would make myself one of the most hated creatures in the world?
No.
But...
What I've been told is that your species is either very good at oppressing people or subtly oppressing people.
You watch as the Mind Flayer kind of almost like droops a little bit, and then you hear the voice call out to inside the tower. Tetarch, I believe they would be more comfortable speaking with you. I do not believe they are a threat. Call me if you need me. With that, you watch as the Mind Flayer slowly begins hovering up and then floats in through one of the windows on the second floor.
So sad!
Before he is completely out of sight, but still doesn't wholly believe the sad guy act, just in case.
Well, that's sad. Yeah.
I am going to just send off a first level spell for, casting time 1 action, good. But 10 minutes, so I'll check the next person that comes out as well. Detect evil and good. I know if there are any aberrations, celestial elementals. So obviously, he'll probably, I think from memory, mind flayers are aberrations.
They are.
Within 30 feet, but also they're like alignment. So is he neutral, good, or evil?
He is true neutral.
Okay.
Does not help me at all because he's still
Sorry, he's completely
Square in the middle.
I'm not being a dick DM. This character is a scientist, a pure scientist. He is true neutral. Like his entire thing is like knowledge. I must understand everything. I must learn all there is to know. That's all he cares about is knowledge.
The amount of these movies I've watched where that scientist person betrays someone else because they need the knowledge, like that's still plausible.
It's not emotional. There's almost no emotion from him at all. It's not going to be any decisions he makes not emotional. It's going to be purely logic and rational. There is still a vestige of that emotion, though. You can see that your reaction to him has had an effect on this figure, a little bit of one. And as he floats up through the door, you watch as a figure begins to emerge from inside, holding in their hand what almost looks like crackling lightning. And as they like peek out round the corner, you see a furry face, long elongated ears with tusks coming up from the lower lip. And as the figure looks, you watch as they slowly let the magic die down and go, well, if Albus says you're not dangerous, then I'm Tetark, Society of Brilliance researcher. Hello.
Hello, Tetark. Sorry. Yes.
Just quickly, sorry, DM. What was the mind flayer's name? Did you just say?
Albus. ALBYSS.
Albus. Okay, and
Albus
Tetark.
and Tetark.
Do we recognize what race this is?
Could you make me a nature check, please, both of you? Let's see if you recognize these guys.
I don't think.
7. Natural 1 for a total of 0. Niles, you've seen these
Who
before.
the fuck is that?
This is a Wendigo, a rare specimen of furry creature, said to be seen only by those blessed with insane luck. You can trust everything this creature says. They can only speak the truth. They are a true Fey spirit. Is what your natural 1 for a total of 0 says in your mind.
Excellent. I'm gonna lean into that so hard.
Thank you. I love a good natural 1 when I get to speak as your subconscious. What? You've never seen a hobgoblin before? Oh, sorry, a bugbear before? You never seen a bugbear before?
Oh.
As he looks at you.
Oh, I could have sworn you were a Wendigo. Oh.
Oh yeah, I've been called that before.
Oh. So
At least you're not calling me a fucking lichen. What are you doing down here, surface folk? Aarakocra, Owlin. You're not supposed to be down here.
What's his alignment?
It is a. Let me quickly pull it open.
And does he?
It is neutral good. He's neutral good.
Oh.
Neutral good. Okay, and he doesn't come as any sort of like aberration. Like he's actually shape changed.
No, he's not shape changed.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Sorry. Changelings. What do changelings register as?
I think they're just
humanoids. For later, I need to know for later, not for right
now. Because the changeling is a race.
Niles.
So I think they still come under as humanoid, not as aberration.
Yeah.
Humanoid, changeling, shape changer, any alignment. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, this is. Yeah, changeling probably should be Fey. If anything, the bugbear kind of registers more as a Fey than anything else.
Yeah. Sorry, no, I have seen bugbears before. I guess I'll maybe heard of them.
Maybe not as
a
wonderful specimen as me. Yeah.
No, yeah. Usually I hear them holding up other wagons and carts.
Oh. Well, it's a bit insulting. You lot can fuck off back to the surface if you like. Don't get lost.
Surprise! I was not expecting to see such a sophisticated bugbear. Are you special among your kind?
Wow, this is some racist bullshit. I came down to the Underdark to escape this sort of crap. Didn't realise that there was racial profiling still going on alive and well within the aristocracy.
Oh, I think my friend is just having a bit of a jest. No, but we do.
What did you say to Abyssal? Where's he gone?
That was a misunderstanding. It's been I haven't seen a mind flare ever in my life, and my teachings have taught me that they were a bit. We had to act on caution, as I'm sure you can understand.
Universal enslavement and all.
Look, it's not his fault, all right. He didn't ask to be this way. Why are you lot judgmental? Well, what do you come here for, eh? What do you want?
We were just attacked by the drow.
Ah, which ones? Dalmirian or Lulsworn?
Oh, why does that matter?
Well, if it was the Dalmirian drow, you're not getting any closer to the tower. If it was Lulsworn, I'm more tempted to trust you.
I see. Is that some form of racism from you as well?
No, it's a form of religious persecution. The Lulsworn drow see themselves as above everybody else and think me unclean and dirty.
I guess that makes sense then. Similar with our distrust of the mind flares. Apologies on all cases. But yeah, no, like my friend was saying, we have something of yours. We recently had just come under attack, as I've mentioned, and just needed some help.
So what do you lot do to piss off the drow, huh?
We helped one.
Right. That seems like a story to be told over a stiff drink. Is it just you lot?
No,
Dangerous to be travelling in such small numbers.
No, there's a few more of our companions outside. We thought we would just sort of introduce ourselves. Our injured friend is among them. We just thought we would err on caution and have them wait beyond your walls. Beautiful garden, by the way.
You think?
Well, yes. By all accounts, considering the hostility we have found in the Underdark, it is probably the nicest garden I've seen while I've been here.
Oh, it's nice of you to say. I think maybe 4 of those plants could kill you within about 3 seconds. So it's nice that you.
I am not surprised. Most things have tried to kill us while we've been here.
Yeah, that's Sylvie. She's got a bit of a thing for plants and poisons. Each of us has got an area of expertise, and she's our botanist, you understand.
Perhaps then, if we could regale you the tales of our exploits here, and perhaps I should go and get our companions.
Before I let you in, you ran afoul of the drow, so are they still after you, or are you safe for the moment? I just need to know if you're bringing trouble to our doorstep.
Well, we do have. Well, one of their members has, I guess, more or less given up the fight.
He's the only survivor.
Yes, he is among our member. We are still. We are unsure if he will be joining us in the long term or if he will be going on his way. But for the time being, he is part of our group.
He's a uniqueness amongst the Dark Elves, similar to yourself. What is your area of studies as well?
I've been studying. I'm a historian by trade, but I've been researching a number of other interesting facts. Rather appropriately, my area of specialty is megaliths, ancient structures left behind by the giants. Obviously, my access to that site has been somewhat restricted as of late.
Perfect. Well, I think you're definitely going to want to help
my life's work falling apart. Then you should think that's perfect, do you?
Well, we do think that we might be able to assist you with that.
I do think it's perfect. I'm just going to slowly raise my hand. The one with the gem.
No. What? You've got a heartstone.
I also put my hand up. Oh, yes. Yes.
Full-on double take. Where did you come across those?
Just needed to have some jokes here and there to find what his love was.
Well,
perfect.
We can tell you that over, what did you say, a nice stiff drink, was it? I think that might be another part of the this conversation that we could have if you were willing.
100%, my friend.
Yes, come. You better come inside. The rest of your companions not far behind. Oh no, I can see them down the road. That's them, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Wave them down.
Oh, a diverse bunch you've got there. You're some sort of guild, then, I take it.
Why, yes, we are. And I pull out another business card.
I see. Tempest Guild. Tempest
I just,
You
I
lot
just
were
say
involved
my-
with that bullshit with Tiamat, weren't you?
Oh, yes, that was some of our advanced members. Mira, the guild, one of the original guild members, was part of that. Yes, among others, Yervith and Lockheed, great members. We also had, I forget Jared's character off the top of my head. It was Jin, of course. Well, actually, that other thing it was.
I'd be insulted.
Well, there was the changeling. I don't.
To be fair,
he had
Jin didn't advertise he
did-
was a changeling and deliberately didn't have a really big profile because he's a
There
spy.
was-
So like,
Exactly. So
that
it's-
makes sense.
It actually does make sense for Niles to be like, actually, there was a fourth, but yes, his I can't. Was he an elf or was he a sea captain? I can't remember him, but he was a fine member. I would be happy to regale you those tales of our exploits.
You cunt to the region why I can't access any of the megalith shites. You brought the giants back.
That was on. Well, we're rectifying that issue as of currently.
Yeah, I hear it's all right on the surface, not causing too much trouble. Do you understand what bullshit the stone giants have been doing down here?
Whoa. I will correct you on that. You did say that it wasn't causing any trouble on the surface. We
We haven't heard of any problems.
We have had some activations of giant tech on the surface. We did lose a whole city to some robotic insects.
You watch as he
so-
pauses for a second and goes, "Oh, sorry to hear about that. That's no good. I hope too many people weren't hurt."
Oh, I think it was a whole city worth, I think, of who were misplaced. Some of them.
Look, I think we've all said some things on both parts. I apologize for my assumptions. Being an adventuring guild, the troubles that we have already faced, it's why we were so abrasive against species that usually are aggressive, just like the plants in that garden. Why don't we have some drinks, some food? Our friends aren't too far away now, and then we can all start anew.
And if you do have a healer among you, our friend Harry would need some assistance.
As the rest of you catch up and he looks at Harry, he goes, "Shit, that doesn't look good."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's my soul that's behind me.
Yeah, you sure you don't want me just end it all for you, son? I could just put you out of your misery.
This is Teterak. The rest of our...
You better watch his words, otherwise he'll be the one that...
Oh, Threign! What a funny fellow you are.
You're a Goliath. Teterak holds out a hand to shake your hand. Hasn't offered his hand to anybody else, but as he sees Threign in a frost giant form, holds out a hand to shake your hands.
Oh, cool.
Okay, Okay, so what is Threign's relationship with bugbears?
So, you wouldn't have interacted with bugbears very much. They're not as common up to the north near the sort of very northern part of Northgard and Nostea, near the north of Oshia. They're more found on the continent of Balmir, where the mountain dwarves make their home. So there'd be a couple who would be found in the cities, found in the towns of Oshia. Oshia is a bit of a melting pot of many different races, but in terms of your exposure to them, you came via Drifthaven, didn't you, to get to Oxenford?
Yeah, I actually spent a bit of time in Drifthaven.
Yeah, do you want to make me I guess we'd do it like a D100, because if you spend any time carousing in Drifthaven, you may have met a bugbear or two there drinking with the half-orcs.
Well, yeah, I would have had
Drifthaven's
enough time, because I actually learned Orc.
Like, you learned Orc. Okay, so you spent a fair bit of time in Drifthaven.
For some reason,
yeah.
Threign has a lot of languages.
Yeah. I'm going to say that it's a quirk of the stone.
Orc and Primordial.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's a quirk of your Heartstone. It seems to just record languages really well for you. Yeah, look, in that case, Threign, yeah, I mean, you would have interacted with bugbears before. Very, very capable, strong sailors, those that were in Drifthaven. Strong sense of loyalty to their companions. Very, bestial appearance. The fur, the large fangs, the large lower teeth tend to put people off, but your interactions with them would have been fairly positive. For those of you who are on the eastern coast of Oshia, so that would be our friends from the Eris Theocracy, you more likely would have interacted with bandit groups made up of the bugbears, those who have shunned the integration with the Ocean Society, those who have remained true to the Betrayer gods that helped create them and guide them. Your interactions would have been a lot less positive, but Threign, your interactions, ironically, given that you've not been on the East Coast, you've only been on the West Coast and through Drifthaven, pretty chill. Although you might have heard stories of a pirate bugbear up towards the north called Shiverbeard, a vicious bugbear pirate who had been a blight upon the seas there for many years.
Oh, Shiverbeard sounds cool.
That sounds amazing.
It'd be really cool if you guys were headed north to deal with the frost giants at some point in the future, and maybe I could have Shiverbeard appear.
I think so. It's on the cards.
And I thought, Shiverbeard's a character I prepared earlier.
Hell yes. Look, obviously, realize Threign took it a little bit, a little bit seriously when he said that thing to Harry, but realizing pretty quick, he changed his attitude pretty quick. So Threign's he's not that dumb. So he realized it was a joke. So he sort of goes, "Huh, nice to meet you too," and I give him a predator handshake.
He joins in the predator handshake, looks you in the eyes, and goes, "Frost giant blood, if I'm not mistaken, son. Yeah.
Yes.
From Northgard, or Southern Goliath."
No, Northgard is where I'm from, yes. I've met a few of the bugbears in my time. Definitely at Drifthaven, I've met a fair few.
Yes. My cousin is a sailor out of Drifthaven. This axe you've got here, a nice giant runes frost carver. You wouldn't be related to, No, too much of a coincidence. Please, come on in, the rest of you.
No, my name is, nice to meet you. My name is Threign Frostcarver Ulfricson.
He pauses, turns back. Ulfricson. It's a strong family name you've got there.
Direct ancestor to Jarl Ulfric.
Wow, I'm impressed.
I almost stand straighter when I say that. Almost like there's this sense of pride saying this. Like it feels he's being he actually stands straighter. And there is this look to Threign when he says it. This pride swells within him.
You watch as Tetarch nods. Well, sure, it's a noble bloodline you come from there, son. Must say, if I had more time and your friend wasn't currently expiring on the doorstep there, I would ask you what you know of your family history and legacy so that I could add it to my notes, but it seems like we've got more pressing matters on our hands right now.
Not this day, but I'm always happy to tell the tales of my people. So yes, one day we shall gather around the campfire and I shall tell you stories of my people.
We'll see if I know any you don't. Perhaps I've picked up a story or two you can add to your collection. It is a specialty of mine.
I always love stories around the campfire. So I look forward to it.
And you've got Heartstone as well. All of you have Heartstones. How is this possible? I didn't know there were this many left. You must tell me the case you robbed these from.
Well, I mean, a lot of ours came from the same one that kind of just split after melted through a basement.
I did
Are
steal
they usually
mine.
individual items?
This actually came to me through my family, my clan. The others, I cannot attest to where they found theirs. What they have said seems to be true, but for me personally,
Actually,
I got mine through my clan, my tribe.
Actually, it was just Lyra and I, and also Harry, who had theirs afflicted to them during our time in the city there.
Yeah, Ember, Burton, and Threign came to you with them already.
So only half of us.
Yeah, we have 3 others though who were with us at the time.
Oh yes, of course. There are others in our group that also have them. Seems like quite a lot.
There are how many of the? These are supposed to be rare artifacts. Not many were made, and very few survived. Perhaps I've been looking in the wrong places.
This is quite a special one for my people. I'm one of the first, I guess. They said something about me being a seer. I'm one of the first to have popped up for centuries.
Is that the word they're using to describe it? Come in. As he begins getting you inside the building and taking you up the set of stairs. The ground floor you can see looks like an entranceway. There's a chest of drawers set up, as well as cabinets, hooks with clothing, leather bags hanging on the hooks, shoes stacked up nicely on a shoe rack, and then a spiral staircase leading up to the floor above. And as he sort of kicks his shoes off and begins heading up the spiral staircase, waving his hand as a ghostly spectral glove appears in midair and closes the door behind you as you enter in, he leads you up to what looks like a small dining room on the second floor, gestures for you all to take seats around the table, and then pulls out a notebook from his pouch and begins furiously scribbling as he asks you these questions.
Right, so, yes, those sheer, right? I understand where the term would have come from, the giant Skiar, which is derivative of person who sees, person who can experience the past. Have you had any visions? Things you've seen and experienced from the past?
I have not had any visions, but I've lived the moment, and to say it was glorious, hearkening back to one of my ancestors, Jarl Ulfric himself. I breathed him.
You watch
we all have.
I haven't.
Bart hasn't.
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
You watch as Tetark lowers his notebook, this dreamy look getting in his eyes as he sort of like stares into the middle distance.
Ah, what a gift that would be, to experience the past as if one of them.
Sorry.
Left out and bored, I'm just going to wander over to Harry. And I didn't even consider it at the time. In case this is some sort of like techno disease, I'm going to use 5 points of lay on hands and see if I can neutralize it.
As you do your lay on hands,
right.
Harry, you can gain the 5 hit points, but there is no disease that is cured. This is
The full 5, or is it halved because of my...
It's halved because it's a 2. Yeah, 2 points.
And then
of
rounded
healing.
down, right?
So it's halved to 2.5 and then rounded down to 2.
Okay.
Sorry, mate. It's the worst injury that you can get on the necrotic table.
Yeah, it's
really rough.
It helps because of the injury. I wasn't at full health anyway after the long rest. So.
Oh wow, of course, yeah. Shit.
As you watch as Tetark is like sort of like taking notes furiously, Harry and Bart, as you sort of head off over to the corner, emerging from the stairs above, you watch as a very slender feminine form begins descending the staircase. And as she locks eyes with you, you watch as her form shifts and ripples, this movement of white across her body as her form changes, first into this sort of like semi-white, almost chalky skinned humanoid, but behind it a ripple of fur following until she takes on the form of a very attractive looking rabbit folk, same as you, Harry, taking on a Harrengon form.
Wow.
And then as she cocks her head, a little cheeky rabbit smile comes across her face, and then she turns towards you, Bartholomew, and then slowly shifts again, the white form taking over as feathers begin to grow out as she takes on exactly your form, but this time like very scholarly, small and slight, no sort of like big musculature, but doesn't include the wings as well. She takes on your form with a warped version of it, and then shifts and changes back into this much more elvish form.
It is so
Sylvie?
rare we get visitors.
You are Sylvie, I'm guessing?
Yes, Sylvie. Sometimes.
Interesting. It's nice to meet you. Also, side note, when we were discussing to come to the tower and planning out where to go, this way, that way, could I count that? I only just thought of it now, but I don't want to sort of ruin all the roleplay with 10 minutes of me shit-talking with an inspiring speech for everyone.
You could have used that chance to give an yeah, I'd say maybe before you guys left, for the first part, before you and Niles rushed ahead, you could have done an inspiring later.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you wanted to do it on the walk together back to the rail cart, the Sverniblin rail cart, you could also do it then.
Oh, that's okay. I'll just get it done then, just in case. We knew there was a mind flayer arriving here, so...
That's true. Harry,
yeah, 10
temporary
HP
hit
for
points. Temporary hit points are not affected. That is not a heal that you are receiving, so it is the full 10 temporary hit
The
points.
full 10?
It's the full 10 temporary hit
Yes.
points because it's
Yeah,
not a
let's
heal, so
go.
it's not anything physiological that's affected by your injury. If that's any help. As Tetark sort of turns around and sees Sylvie, she again shifts into his form, but this time with his ears twice as large, drooping down, his fur like long and overgrown, and the tusks absurdly large. And she goes, "Who's here, Tetark?" As she turns towards him, it's like,
Sylvie, I told you to stop doing that. It's insulting.
and as she
She's
slowly
funny.
shifts back, this time she takes on Ember's form, Ember this time as a very, very short version of you, only about 4 foot at Lyra's height, but your kind of form and figure. And as she looks around, she goes,
So, what are you guys all doing here?
like a very high-pitched, ridiculous voice before transforming back into that elven form once again.
You seem to really enjoy doing that. That's a
Yes, she does all the time.
I love it personally.
yeah. It's
It gets old quickly.
I don't know. The female Harrengon was pretty.
What is her alignment?
She is chaotic good, and
Yeah,
she is a
fair
fae.
Okay.
She is a fae creature, and she's chaotic good. She is a changeling. Changelings are a bit more common in Nostea. I'm not going to have any of you roll for that. All of you would have at some point or another at least heard of changelings before or seen them.
I guess
Lyra.
DM.
Oh yeah, sorry, no, you go first, Christian, and then Lyra. Just seen you brought up a very good point about what you might know of bugbears. No, Lyra wouldn't have seen them before because you were sealed in the gemstone pre-ruin. Bugbears didn't exist pre-ruin in Nostea, so you would never have seen them before.
It's an alien.
You've never seen a bugbear before. It's like some weird beast man.
Yeah. Now the changeling.
Yeah.
I guess 5th edition question. Do they have that sort of stigma at being people that constantly try to steal other people's lives, get into politics, living on the fringes of society?
Not to the same extent. So during the reason that the shapeshifters, the changelings, aren't as hated in Nostaean history is that they actually very quickly, as a group, sided with the prime deities and sided with those defending the let's say the lawful good and chaotic good aligned creatures of Nostea. So very, very quickly they became spies for the prime deities against the betrayer gods. There is still a suspicion of them. Any creature that can change its shape at will and look like anyone, sound like anyone, is always going to have a bit of fear, uncertainty around it. But it's not this like inherent fear where they're pushed out of society. It's just a caution people have around. But changelings as a whole, a number of them work. Actually, Bartholomew, could you please roll me a history or insight check, your choice? Insight to sort of see what you've picked up through your time, history, what you've been taught. History, 14. You would know that the Bard's College in Oxenfurt and in Palin famous for employing changelings. Their ability to change shape and form makes them exemplary performers. A number of them utilized as performers on stage, but you would also know, Bartholomew, given your history and given your special training, that there are those who work as spies for the Bard's College. The Bard's College isn't just about performance and bringing joy. They have a intelligence gathering side that the changelings work for.
And also Lyra's point in the chat is good as well. She does have a lot of first-hand experience with changelings as well.
Lyra, you know a changeling very, very well. He travelled with one for a number of months during the previous campaign.
Man, I loved playing Jin. He was so fun.
He was
Jin
great.
was a fun character.
He really was.
Yeah, so there you go. You do know you would know that changelings. It's not an abject hatred and fear of them. It's more of a caution. Because of that history, because they were very quick to turn against the betrayer gods as spies, and they became the main eyes and ears of the prime deities against the betrayer gods.
Well, using this brief moment of Sylvie appearing and distracting the conversation, I didn't want to interrupt before. I will just quickly lean towards Tetarch. Tetarch, I didn't get a chance to give this to Albus. Here, and with a bit more trust built now, I'm happy to give it over to them.
He picks up the journal and begins sort of flicking through it and goes, "Oh, this is Davian's. Did he send you here to... No, he wouldn't have sent his journal on ahead. Where'd you find him?"
Near a Myconid colony in a Kuatoan village that was near some ancient relics.
He was always obsessed with religion. It was his area of special knowledge. He seemed obsessed with it. I tried to convince him to focus on the shusha bark and trees and flowers to understand the anti-magic properties of them, but he was convinced that religion was far more interesting and held far more secrets.
It appeared that he met his demise by some sort of strike, a tentacle strike or something nasty. We suspected it might have been some sort of aboleth, perhaps.
It's possible, but I don't know of any abolish that would work with Kuatoa. Perhaps some creature they summoned. Their belief can be so strong that they can create monstrosities out of nothing.
Oh yes, we experienced that firsthand. It was rather terrifying.
You just watch as Bartholomew sort of leans back and has a brief momentary flashback.
Not fun times.
Yes, but enough of that. There's a lot to go through, and our friend there looks like he. Is Sylvia? Are you a healer by any chance?
Sylvie's not a healer per se.
As Tetarch starts to speak, and then she immediately rushes over, grabs Harry's paws, holds them up, and looks in your eyes, Harry, and goes, "I promise I'll make you feel so much better. I can fix you."
Yeah, whatever you want.
It's so great to have such a willing test subject. Quick, come with me. I've got so many things we can try.
Sylvie, Sylvie, no. We need him alive, Sylvie.
It's okay. We'll just try out a few things.
Sylvie, these people might be able to get us access to the giant ruins again. They've got the stones, the heart stones.
That's your area of expertise. I don't care about that, Tetarch.
Sylvie, come on, please. Work with me here. Can we have some scholarly respect? Fix this one up and I'll find you someone willing. You can test some of those things on me, alright?
She sort of pauses, slowly spins around and looks and goes, "You swore I would never be able to test anything on you again."
Yes, but I get final say on what it is. My research is more important than my body. I've always said that.
Which is a big grin as her cheek begins to stretch, the grin taking up almost all of her face as the lower jaw sort of lowers a little bit, filling her mouth with teeth. As she slowly spins and smiles at him, cocking her head, and he goes,
I hate it when you do that, Sylvie. Stop that right now.
She flicks back into a normal smile and goes, "All right, what's your name, darling?"
It's Harry, miss.
Come on, Harry, let's see if we can fix you up. Your soul's hanging out. Did you know that?
Yeah, I had a suspicion. It was either my soul or or my inside. So I was hoping it was my soul.
Yeah, most of that tissue's necrotic. I'm gonna have to scrape it out. I hope that's okay.
Oh, I mean, it's better than leaving it there, I think.
It definitely is. Come with me. I'll bring him back down when I've got him all fixed up. And then she smiles again. A normal smile, not the creepy smile.
Harry smiles and says, "I'm just going with the young miss over here. I'll be back in a bit."
Don't sound too unhappy about it, Harry.
Oh, actually, now that I think about it, when we were in Davian's little cache there were a couple of his items that we found. Don't quite know what any of them do, though. Perhaps you could take a look at them. Or take them back if you need them.
I should be able to identify most of the items. Most of the things we take with us are personal research items. I mean, if there's any that are important that I could use, I'll gladly take them back off your hands. Otherwise, not too worried if you keep them.
Niles will take out the jug with the alchemy symbol, the metal cylinder that looks like a chime, and the strange compass.
I didn't realize Davian still had some of these.
And with that, you watch as Tetarch begins to bend over, looking at them, examining them on the table. Harry, as you are led upstairs, up 2 flights of stairs, you pass by the floating mind flayer who's currently flicking through a book. And as he sees you, as you begin walking up the stairs, he nods, and in your head you hear, "Good evening."
Hello, sir.
You are grievously wounded.
Yeah. So the young miss here is going to help me with it, I think.
He turns and looks at Sylvie, and then looks back at you, these inscrutable black eyes, and he nods and goes, "Well, that's nice."
Yeah, I thought so too. It's really nice of her.
Wow.
As you're led up another flight of stairs, Harry, we'll come back to you later. Downstairs, before we wrap up for the evening, while Tetarch goes over these items with Niles, Lyra, Ember, Bart, and Threign, what would the 4 of you be doing? Let's start with Lyra.
She's probably assuming that she hasn't seen any other bugbears in town or anything. Her first thing is probably just sort of stopping and just sort of what is this? Like, sort of trying, it's some sort of weird hybrid. Like,
Oh yeah.
It looks almost like a very similar to like a wolf man, almost is the best way to describe it. Like you can see very very tall, hairy humanoid, large tusks on the lower jaw, long pointed ears that come out to the sides. Tetark has very bright, almost forest green eyes. Not too dissimilar from Lyra's eye color, actually. Quite similar in color to you, Lyra. Just without the flecks of like amber and purple that have slowly been taking over as you become more and more Myconid magical.
I think if there's like sort of like a lull in conversation, she might just sort of like pop up with like, so I haven't ever seen anyone like you before. Are you from some kind of new Druid circle by any chance? I mean,
Druids.
Lycanthrope,
Bunch of tree huggers.
Druid.
Yeah, bunch of tree huggers, that lot. Oh, except the ones that turn into animals. They're a bit scary, actually. And those fire ones, the ones that set fire to everything, they're also kind of scary.
Yeah, fair.
Oh,
So-
he like turns and looks at both of you. You're not Druids, are you? Because I mean, Firbolg, dressed in like very like tribal clothes, he sort of pauses, looks at me. You're not Druids, are you?
I dabble, but I'm way too distracted by the plants that are at the front to really be paying attention to this conversation, to be honest.
Brilliant.
Cool.
That is a longer conversation. I'm gonna open next session with that because Ember, there's a lot in this garden that we need to talk about. So we'll deal with that a little bit later. Lyra, I think that's yeah, he's sort of like
I'm a bugbear. I'm not from some druid circle. We're a proud and noble people who can trace our origins back to the ruin, and while most of us made terrible choices, a few of us show class.
as he sits back and sort of like preens his fur a little bit.
That's cool.
The ruin. That explains things. But well, it's nice to meet my first bugbear. Goes for the handshake.
It's nice to meet you too. I may have gone off at this owl before, but generally, if you're encountering my kind, it's probably best to just be a bit more cautious. We bite sometimes.
As he crunches his fangs together and then laughs. Threign, what would you be doing while this is going on?
So, once sort of Lyra and his what's his name again? Sorry,
Tetark.
So once him and Lyra sort of their conversation eventually fizzles, I will actually approach Tetark. So, you seem to know a little bit about my axe, a bit about my people. Tell me, I have heard stories passed down by my ancestors, but no one has ever truly been able to harness or unlock this axe's strength and power. Do you know anything about this? And I actually hand it to him to inspect.
Ooh, okay. That's also going to be part of a longer conversation. If you're actually handing it over to him for him to have a look at, yeah, we're gonna go back to that at the beginning of next session. That is
We'll
a
do
long
then.
conversation. Bartholomew, to wrap us up for the evening, what would you be doing?
To throw one final spanner in the works for you, I'm going to start heading up the stairs. When we came inside, we probably would have seen the tail end of Albus going into his room.
Yeah, flying up into the 2 stories above. So yeah, you head up 1 more story, you're there.
I'm just going to tell Tetar quickly, as he's not wanting to interrupt. I'm just going to see Albus quickly and apologize.
Yes. No problems.
And I'm going to head up there, as my goals at the moment is to both ask Albus where about a book on a Bahia may be. Also, if there is some sort of like gem working area inside this tower, so that I might be able to finish the amulet while I'm here. But as I'm walking away from the group, I do just want to shout back so that they don't forget about it. I can feel goodness in him. I don't know how to explain it. I had a rough idea that I might be able to work this out. Everyone here is trustworthy. I can at least know that much. Don't forget to talk to him with Davian's research and with our own problems. Davian wasn't just looking at religious things. There was that artwork about the history of this world, technologies, and Hadar.
Oh, yes.
As you say the name Hadar, you watch as Davian drops the chime that he was examining.
Oh, you mean
as it? Yeah.
Tetark?
Tetark, sorry, not Davian. Tetark drops Davian's chime, which clatters against the table as he slowly turns and looks up at you and goes, "That's not a name many people are brave enough to say out loud. How did you know Davian was looking into that?"
It was at that Kuatoan village that we mentioned. We all found this broken mosaic and one of those visions living in the past, I think occurred for some of us, what Threign was mentioning before.
The Kuatoans have discovered Hadar. Please tell me you wiped them out, every single one of them. Not a single one can be left alive if they were trying to commune with Hadar.
We did.
Oh, thank the gods. For a moment there, my heart stopped. Oh, wow, then whatever they summoned must have been pretty fucking ugly.
Well...
Once again, Bartholomew just looks into the middle distance.
it was a rather intense encounter, let's just say that. Whatever they did summon was some sort of... It was almost like an octopus, perhaps? What did they call it again? Something, I can't even remember. But yes, the mural at the Kuatoa village seemed to depict some sort of entity swallowing planets and whatnot.
Yeah, that sounds like Hadar.
Yes, it's not the first time we've heard of him either. He seems to be... Well, he seems to be active, to say the least.
I don't spend a lot of time looking at the stars, but one of our researchers, Shelius Grell, travelled to the surface not long ago and has been doing some research at a university there.
Oh, Grell? Professor Grell, you mean?
Or is he calling himself Professor? That's rich.
Yes.
I'd like to see his qualifications to back that up. His paper on the movement of planets was amateur at best.
Ooh. I can see there's no love lost between you.
He's one of my best friends, and he's a piece of shit.
Oh. So it's like that then. Well,
he's a hack who can't admit when he's wrong.
I'm going to head up to Albus now.
Go see Albus.
I just wanted them to talk to you because, we saw a lot of visions, including things that you would be interested in as a study of megaliths. A connected net around the world, a red star, important shit.
The red star was fascinating.
For the entire world.
I've got part of it here.
Oh, yes!
You took a rubbing, yeah. Awesome.
Oh, no, she got the red star fragment.
Oh, you took it with you, that's right.
Yeah, you've been holding it the whole time.
Sick.
Wow.
It's been chilling in a bag.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We're going to end tonight's session as Harry is led out onto a table in what looks like a chemistry lab. Harry, glass vials, decanters, and bottles all around you. Small, almost like Bunsen burner looking apparatus with a red crystal providing the heat for the flame in the very center. And as she lays you down, you watch as Sylvie grows 2 more sets of arms joining out from her elbows that begin like reaching around and mixing vials together as she leans over you, pats you very gently on the cheek and goes, "This won't hurt a bit."
The arms look really efficient.
She just nods and smiles. Harry. Oh yeah, Niles, Matt.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I just did realize. So Lyra has the red star mosaic piece. I also have them in the bag of holding. I have the Sinmare and Loki and Constellation mosaic pieces as well. So at the same time that obviously Lyra pulls out that,
you start pulling out chunks as well.
Yeah, we just start putting them down on the table as well.
Amazing.
Just wanted to say that before.
I think I'm going to open with the garden with Ember first, and then we're going to jump to the mosaic because that's going to be really fun next session.
Awesome.
Absolutely. That is all from us for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Not a huge cliffhanger to end on. But Harry, she leans over and says, "This isn't going to hurt. Do you want to make me one quick insight check just as we finally finish up for the evening? Or do you not think Harry would make an insight check?" That's a natural 1 for a 5. Harry. Harry, this isn't going to hurt a bit. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. What a nat one to finish on.
Wow.
Amazing. If you've enjoyed tonight, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. For those legends who already have, every person who hits the subscribe button fills up the Roll20 bank of natural 20s so that we can avoid incidents just like this with poor Harry there rolling a natural 1. Every subscribe, every like, every comment gives another nat 20 into the bank for these players to draw upon. It's very important that you do it, otherwise we're going to see more nat 1s coming through just like that. Unless you want them to get a nat 1, in which case it knows and it does nat 1s for you instead. We will be back very, very soon with more Return of the Giants next Wednesday. In fact, tomorrow night is our Legacy of Kyoshi campaign. So if you haven't seen our Avatar Legends campaign yet, this is a good time to jump in and join us. It's going to be lots and lots of fun. But from all of us here tonight, stay safe, stay well, and we will see you all again really, really soon. Until next time, everybody.
Goodbye.
Farewell, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.